You continued your journey through and reached the tavern, only to see that Elizabeth and I forget his name. Where is he?
Meliodas?
No, Meliodas is there, yeah. And you
No,
also
he means
had
the guy with the
Hector.
bandit chief, Hector.
Hector. And they all seem to be wearing a uniform of sorts, and waiting tables from some locals that seem to be patrons at this time, eating pie and drinking ale.
This is the morning or just arriving?
This would be a very late afternoon by the time you managed to get to.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I was basically confused.
Go on then, you play.
Well, let's get in and have a pie to celebrate our victories and defeats.
Well, it is a bit confusing. I did not know Meliodas had a way to arcanely shift his whole tavern, to be honest. It may be more impressive than we thought.
I don't trust it.
I start looking around for Hork.
Were you looking for work?
No, for the pig, Hork.
Oh, sorry.
A little piglet that runs around and eats up the food.
I do believe it's Hawk.
Yeah.
I prefer Hork.
Yeah, I mean, you see this small pig ruffling around in a corner, like licking up dirt and scraps of food that have been around the building.
This is is this like right as we arrive, or we already had a long rest?
Yeah, that was my.
I would say this is as you arrived.
Shit.
Sorry, you cut off there.
Sorry, I would say this is as you arrive.
Alright.
Okay, retrospectively spells and whatnot. In that case.
Then Zartlan would immediately sit down and order a meat pie.
Okay. Yeah.
You are going to die from pies. You know that?
I will conquer these pies.
I'm gonna skip the pie. Thank you.
I'll walk up, order 2 ales and a pie.
Yeah.
What is like? What is Diana outside?
So yeah,
she can't fit inside.
I know.
Very large, so she resides outside. I believe as you arrived, you introduced her to Elizabeth and Hector. And Hector was taken back a bit as it's the first giant he's bear witness to. But however, there seemed to be a familiarity that Elizabeth at least knew of Diane. Like she recalls there being a
connection
giant
in the past.
Yeah.
Well then, shall we do a little huddle up and discuss some things, fellows?
Well, how much is the 2 ales and a pie?
Deal with it later.
Yeah, you see Meliodas is like, are you still really asking how much things cost? It's on the house, don't worry about it.
Alright, well, I grab the pie and one of the ales and I go outside and hand it to Diane.
No worries.
And I just drink an ale.
What the balls? Someone drop.
I eat my pie.
Circle.
Okay. Those that are eating pie, make your Constitution saving throws.
So what's happening? That's not so much.
I will say for this, Sartlam, you can have advantage because this is probably the third or fourth pie you've had.
Maybe even.
I feel like it's like the 5th or 6th, but either way, I'll take it.
Sure.
At the very least, 3 have been eaten.
Slightly better.
Mm-hmm. You have a sense of like you've like that thing that you've missed from your life, even though it's only been like a few days travel. What you've eaten since then hasn't kind of matched up, and even though your body still has like a reaction that almost wants to reject this pie, it's just there's just something about the pie that it has to go down. You have to consume this pie. And you manage to comfortably.
I just look at this pie-eating monster and I say, "You are going to die from eating those things. You know that, right?"
There is such a thing as food poisoning, after all.
Back home, there are those who consume poison for recreation.
We are... whatever.
I'm not sure you're eating poison, though. There's something else.
Probably close to it, though. It's my feeling. Now, should we address the elephant in the room?
Yes.
I would
yes.
rather not. There's people here.
That's why I ask for a table on the side that we can discuss this. Or if we have to, we can take the private chamber in the back. If maybe others permits us to do so. What say you?
Let's just say, instead of addressing the elephant in the room, let's talk about how we proceed from here. Because that's fairly innocuous, the subject.
I have a feeling Zartlam has a knick-knack to find.
As it is, it might be a mere knick-knack, but once it has been reunited with the rest of its original form,
I was trying to
it.
be a bit, not conspicuous about it. But okay.
Zartlam turns to Meliodas and says, "Meliodas, what was the first thing I asked you when we met?"
You expect me to remember something like that?
Nope.
Fair point. Goes back to eating his pie.
Even I will have trouble remembering that.
As much as I hate to derail the conversation, we should eat. I will have a meat pie. Fuck this.
Sure, one meat pie coming up, and he kind of like bounds into the back room, disappears for a while.
Why am I doing this?
I haven't even eaten a single pie yet. I don't trust it.
I had a bad experience. Also, we saw a bad experience happen last time. I don't even know why Circaville is trying, but sure.
And,
you just see Roland eating some beef jerky.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Just gonna put some traveling rations or something.
He comes out with the pie. You eat some pie, and it is, as you remember it, it is like old, like a month-old socks that have been left in like gone off meat, and like it smells like throw up.
And you see a shoe sole in there.
And as you swallow it, you can feel like your body's like, nope, 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 and it goes down. And at first you're like, huh, okay, fine. And then you begin to relax, thinking, it's not so bad. Tastes bad, but
until
it's
you're
not so
running
bad.
to the bathroom.
And then you start to sweat profusely, and you're like, wait, this isn't right.
Oh,
And your
no.
lower gut begins to bubble.
Oh boy.
You doing anything, or are you?
I'm going to have to go to the privy. See you.
And we have a repeat situation. I warned him not to do that. Like,
Okay.
does he not remember what happened last time?
Can you roll me a 1d4, please, Cavell?
Shit.
Oh, God. 24 hours.
Don't know what.
4 days.
Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine.
4 days
course.
you're gonna feel this sick.
Of course, to decide how many holes it's coming out of.
There was a word about that, but I forget what it was.
Okay, so guys,
Maybe see Circaville rush out of the room. Well,
Mhm.
that's inconvenient. We really need to find a cook for this place. I swear it. Like, it's like I don't know, but it seems like if it's gonna be following us, we should probably have some better accommodations. I mean, so that encounter was a bit much, if you ask me.
I'm just drinking my ale. Eating some beef jerky. Num, num,
Yeah,
num,
just
num.
tell me when I get back in.
It'll be a few minutes.
See you in 3 hours.
Say what you will about the Holy Knights.
I mean,
Gil Thunder.
you go off and do what you need to, Sir Cavell. You come back about 10-15 minutes later, and you think it's over.
It's gonna be around 2 in a few minutes, isn't it?
Say what you will about the Holy Knights. Gil Thunder does do honor to the Galmac school.
Yes, we know we're out of his league right now. That's as much as I understood. Thank God for Diane being there. Might not have escaped with our sorry hides, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, this is what happens. 15 minutes, and then Cavell bursts into the door and he says, Destiny! That's what I wanted to say. And he walks over and he says, Destiny has taken us here. And sits down on the table and he points at Sartlan and he says,
Is he
There's no
here?
doubt in this.
I look at I look at Sir Cavell and go, did you at least wash your hands?
Sure. I mean, there's probably like some water like outside that's been gathered from the rain. From the barrel. That's the closest thing you can get. Which,
Rowan, destiny lies within our grasp. The future of this green and pleasant land belongs to the Legion.
sure.
Yeah.
Allow me to be skeptical at this point. We need to gather some more strength. I don't know about you, but I feel rusty.
Whatever happens here, there's no turning back.
Well, I would prefer not to go back to that forest, to be honest.
No, I mean, metaphysically, not turning back.
Okay. That too as well.
I mean, we're at the crossroads, right? We've got the freedom to do whatever we want.
Well,
I failed to see how that's anything new.
but I believe we've had been somewhat free to choose where we go, as long as it was away from the Holy Knights.
All I know is we got a bunch of shards to collect to make Zartlam happy.
Well, like, if that leads me to...
Let me put it this way. If you think Gil Thunder's sword was impressive, once this one is reforged, we'll put that to the ugliest of shame.
I don't remember.
You can have the most impressive sword there is. And without the people to follow you, you'll just be overwhelmed.
DM, do I remember of a magical sword that could rival Gil Thunder's sword?
Do you remember of a sword? I mean, you've
There
read
are
books.
several.
There are several swords throughout the
Belonging to
kingdom that
knights.
are very, very powerful. In terms of belonging to a particular holy knight, yeah. Again, there's several holy knights. In terms of anyone you would remember closely, no.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Well, that sounds impressive. I don't know what kind of weapon that would be in order to rival Gil Thunder's magical thundering bird.
You'll not find the like of it on this plane of existence. I can tell you that much.
Well, alright, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. I'll believe it when I see it, to be honest. But it does sound impressive.
Don't get yourself killed then. It's only a matter of time.
I'm like, isn't it a shame it's broken?
How did it become broken? Like, did someone else rival your strength or something?
The Lich Queen.
What's the Lich Queen DM? Do I know?
History check.
Blast! Let's see. History.
Just be glad she's not set her sights on this world yet.
13. Blast! 5.
You know the word lich, but you've never heard or come across a lich queen.
You use such strange comparisons, Zatan. Indeed, it just... Your
Perhaps-
outwardly origins confuse me.
Perhaps one day I'll introduce you to her, as I'm removing her head from her shoulder.
I thought liches had a phylactery thingamabob.
One moment, sorry.
I thought liches were like harder to get rid of, so I know.
Well, in any case,
It could just. I'm like, it could also just be a bloody title and not an actual lich.
It's possible, but I doubt anyone would want that, because automatically brings the attention of people.
Well, he keeps talking about other planes of existence. Who knows what people on other planes of existence think?
Sorry about that.
No trouble.
I'm back now.
Oh, considering his outer appearance, it's not hard to believe, still.
in any case, what I'm insinuating is that our work has barely begun.
Oh yes, definitely.
From our standpoint, we have barely anything resembling an army.
I look at Sir Cavell, I'm like, well, maybe if you don't just walk into the middle of a town that nobody knows you and behead people in the town, we'll be fine.
Yes, let's say we, wait, what? I don't remember that. What have you done? You did mention something strange like that earlier. A few days ago, maybe a week ago.
In the town of... I forget the town.
Yeah.
I do this all the time. I've been wandering through the lands and enforcing the justice that people deserve.
Okay.
As part of my wanderings around. I killed someone called John the Harbor Master,
You killed
brother to Frank the Farmer, for the murder of 4 farmhands who died to wolves that he had baited to the land nearby.
This all seems rather inconvenient. We could possibly avoid killing people in the middle of the day.
The worst part is that he said, "In the name of the king,"
I'll be back in a bit.
They then beheaded him.
Well, it's still the king's law. even if the king is, gone.
Couple of the heads of customers, like in the tavern, kind of turn, look at you a little bit.
I just glare
Well,
at them.
if you feel like making a commotion here, at least wait until the morning. I could use a good distraction once I'm rested.
Yes. I did not mention my past. You did, Roland. In any case, there's a lot of chaos around. I think we can do this town much good. The Legion, that is.
Meliodas speaks up and is like, well, if you're expecting to go into the town, then you're going to need some papers. Do you have papers?
I look at Meliodas and I say, I used them to wipe my ass sometime in the past. They're gone now, Meliodas. There are no more papers.
Mine are a bit out of date.
Well, you're going to have a real struggle on your hands if you haven't got any identification.
I have a solution.
I just look at him and go, which ones? I probably have like 6 or 7 different ones.
I have a solution. It's called fire.
I mean, the monk here is likely to get past, as they tend not to question monks too fondly, but in case they anger whatever gods may remain, and the monks are looked at as peaceful people, so.
Well, yeah.
Meliodas, I have a feeling you're trying to insinuate something.
Yeah, that he has papers for us, of course.
No, you need your own papers. I'm no forger. You need a good forger and a forgery kit.
I know a good forger.
You do?
Yeah, I have contacts.
Well, it sounds like we need to make contacts with your contacts and spend some of this money we learned.
I've used him lots in the past. He's really good. That's why I said which papers.
We could
I literally
actually
got several.
Or we could actually acquire real paper. Use real papers. We're talking about traveling papers, correct?
Anything identification, papers that would say you and your family name, likely where you reside, or some sort of a vote account number or something like that.
Would I be able to perhaps reuse my old traveling papers if I'm in this town? Be able to reacquire my merchants papers?
You have papers? Let's have a look. I'll see if they might be approved.
Well, they're old, really old. Sure. And I present whatever I have.
Yeah, he kind of looks over and is like, they could pass, but you might need to update some of the inkings. It looks like some of it faded.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If it's possible, we could do that.
I just pull out one of my old contacts forgeries that he made 5 years ago and hand it to Meliodas.
This is quite a bad fake. It could be passable if the gods aren't paying too much attention.
Do they ever pay too much attention?
That depends on the individual god.
How many guards are
there? Well, it's a big town. I mean, usually you have a series of 5 guards at the gate. And one of them brings forward, checks over your papers.
You could just sneak in, too.
You could try.
I think the only one who would have success with that is you, Roland.
Pretty much, yeah.
So if you and the Ronan,
So is it only these two that have papers? You haven't got any more?
I'd rather not use them.
Well, we could just come in as the monk's bodyguards, and if they don't check the monk, would they check those bodyguards?
Yeah, they'll certainly check bodyguards.
Yeah.
Or we could all dress up as monks and just walk in.
Ah, you have some vestments?
The thing with papers is they only check them at the gates.
Once you're in, you're in.
Are we trying to get in? Because I was AFK, sorry about that. In the prison?
Are you trying to get into Del Mary?
Ah, okay.
Eventually, but not necessarily immediately.
I'm like, we're trying to find the resistance, dum-dum.
I'm sure the resistance have a way in.
Are they based in the city is the question. Inside. I would think.
Inside.
Well, I look at the monk and just ask him how many spare vestments he has.
One.
Just the clothes on my back.
You don't have a backup pair? What's
Well,
wrong?
here's the thing. I can disguise up to 3 of us, but I'd be out of spells for the day.
One problem with that. Disguise self is self only.
Not when you're me.
What, you're gonna give us a potion?
No. I will give you a spell. As long as you're smart enough to use it, you can use it.
Huh.
Yes. However, I will be out of spells for the day if I do that. And it only lasts an hour.
Well, that seems like a way to get in, but we still don't have the correct papers.
True. And any inspection of the physical body would reveal us as being fakes. And that could cause a whole lot of trouble.
Not when you just make yourself look like a fucking monk.
Yes, but if they touch us, their hands will pass through our clothing.
Well, it's uncouth to touch a monk. We're holy people.
Guards, they're not really of the righteous type usually. They just follow orders as we previously.
So the idea here is Ronan and Roland go as themselves, and the rest of us disguise ourselves as monks.
Well, we have 2 papers that can get people in.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Mine are old under the pretext that I need to update them. Might get me in. But they probably know how I look, right? Disguise my...
I just look through my bag and go, how about these ones, Mother? She sees me literally have like 6 different papers.
My papers are just those as a mercenary. Trying to get permission to get inside to get those updated wouldn't fly very well. I don't know. At least you've got the backing of a guild, I assume.
Indeed. Believe it or not, I have been a merchant for a very long time. Even though if I am out of practice.
I'm like, we could always just bribe our way in, too.
That was the other thing. But if they have orders to look for us specifically...
Sorry, DM.
Yes.
I chose a soldier background, which means that I've got military rank.
Yep.
Would that work in any way? Or because of our like backstory, that whole military rank is sort of null and
all
void.
of this is...
At this point in time, it'd be defunct. You would have
because I've still got like an insignia of a rank.
Yeah,
And so could I flash that and get us in? Is that something from knowing what's happened in the past that we could do?
You could try, but the likelihood is that if the rank is either been redundant because of what had occurred, they may question it. But it depends on how smart these
guards are.
These guards are.
Yeah. I mean, you could get away with it and try and just sort of, like a policeman or like a fake policeman would kind of quickly flash the badge.
Yeah.
You could try that scenario, but it's
Are you confident
risky.
in your fast talking skills?
Monk's not known for their talking.
I am decent
Right.
at it.
You're
I have
also a monk, right?
experience.
So you can just walk in.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help being a team player.
We could divide
There.
into several groups and pretend we're not together and pass separately, like a few minutes apart.
Yep, split the party.
No, I mean like just form
Well, we just
2 or
walk
3
single
groups.
file, and we act like we don't know each other.
I could attempt to bluff my in with a single bodyguard, saying I have to renew my papers because I just realized they're old. Maybe that.
You lot remember that campsite we found with the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, that's good for humans.
What about that campsite?
I picked up a couple of potions there that would make scaling the walls during the night rather simple.
Yes,
So
but
if not
guards.
everyone can get in through the gate, there is another option.
Yeah, but with those papers we found, they're quite old. Could we not smudge human?
If you're a human, yes, you can use them.
No, but could we not smudge it out so it's illegible? I mean, half of it's illegible anyway. So
They are old.
yeah, so could we not age it a bit more to get rid of humans so it doesn't say what race it is? It's just got a name, where we're from, and
I'm not a forger, I'm a tinkerer. I could attempt to do that, but no guarantee of success.
Why don't we just burn it down?
The whole city? How about that?
how big's the city?
It's a large town.
A large
We know
town.
Yep.
And
A lot of residential homes are here.
and roughly, how big is the City Watch contingency there?
In terms of the City Watch,
Yeah, the Town's Watch, the local police constabulary.
there's
Probably
two
bigger.
main gates. Given your sort of military background, you'd know this kind of information. Usually for cities of the size of Delmary, you'd have roughly about 5 people per gate.
Yep.
There are usually surrounding towers, usually 4 towers, north, east, south, and west. On the towers are usually archers. They can range from 2 to 3 archers per tower. Within the city walls, there is usually 2 to 3 guards at each corner that patrol the circumference of the city, and are usually a handful of guards that walk through the middle.
So 50 guards is a safe estimation.
And then a guard captain, usually.
Here is an idea. I'm not going to advocate it, but I'm going to suggest it.
That's 10 each. I reckon we could do it.
Sure. Also, why would we do that?
We get some meat pies, a lot of them.
Sure. Again.
And we poison the guards with them?
Deliver them to each gate individually as a goodwill gesture.
Oh, we have the monk do it?
And
how far apart are the gates?
They're a good 100 miles apart. Sort of, they circumference the whole sort of city wall.
So they're a good few miles apart. So if we did anything at one gate, chances are we're just dealing with those people at the one gate.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
But if we enter that way, people are gonna start looking for unauthorized,
if you get caught,
person inside the city.
We give them all meat pies, and then
No. There's gotta be a way to bluff our way in, or get a.
As he says this, his stomach starts to boil and he has to run again.
Sure.
Given the population here and yet the circumference of the walls, I think my backup plan still stands. I doubt they have enough men to monitor even every few feet of the walls. Patrols.
Is there a curfew at night? We could easily just scale the walls.
Martial law.
Patrols certainly, but if there's enough of a gap between them, 1 or 2 individuals could slip through, even if they aren't the most stealthy.
Would you like to attempt to bluff our way inside first?
I think the pie approach is pretty good.
You want to poison the guards. Gotcha.
The problem.
Not poison, just give them a very bad stomach thing.
Question: how far away? We're on the outskirts. How far away is the tavern from the city?
A walk from the tavern is probably about 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Well, we're having this discussion. Would it be too much to ask for our ranger to scout the nearest gate?
That's up to your scout.
I'm asking.
I don't mind going. If I'm not going to raise much suspicion as a monk, I don't mind walking down and sort of sitting and meditating.
There might be a variant to Cavell's plan that could work. Hey, Meliodas.
What you need?
Do you do deliveries in the town?
Not yet. We've only just got here, really, about a day before you.
Interesting.
Would you be... How much do you think it would cost to deliver something to the gate? A gift for the hardworking soldiers there.
Yeah, a few gold. We can make up some pies.
Not a few pies.
Could
a lot
we?
of pies.
We
Could
want
we
to make sure there's enough for them to share, of course.
Can we put some of Faisal's acid vials in there as well?
No.
No. We're just offering them a little gift. We don't want anything that would get Meliodas here.
I mean, if you're
pie
asking
and
for
a keg
pies
of ale
for...
or something.
If you're asking for pies for all the guards, that's a lot of pies. So that's not only gonna cost a bit.
Just the gate guards.
So what are we saying? Like 6 pies or?
Well, let's see. 5 plus 3, 8 pies. So you can get the archers their pie too. And a keg of ale.
It's just 50 guys. If we get 100 pies, I'm sure they'll all appreciate that.
Well, we only really care about the gate, right? So.
Is there any waterways into town?
Any waterways?
Yeah.
The sewage area where everyone dumps?
Probably not.
What's the cost of 100 pies?
100 is ridiculous time of baking, though.
I don't care.
We don't have a week to bake pies.
It probably would take about a week, and it probably would be around 1,000 gold.
Yep.
For 100 pies?
How much do you think?
They're about
10 gold a pie.
If you don't forget, you've got to get the meats and everything else that goes with that.
Let's like I've said this before, I believe. Let's leave that as plan Z.
That's why I said 8 pies and a keg of ale, because that will get the gate guards and the archers.
Well, 10 pies is a reasonable sized amount.
Well, do keep in mind, usually a person doesn't eat a whole pie by themselves.
Yeah, but we need enough for them to share it and care. So
5 pies would be plenty. Trust me. Half a pie per if there's 10 people. I doubt there's gonna be more than 10 people.
There's only 8.
We assume.
5 pies.
Ronin, with an 11 history, you know that there is a sewer system within Dalmary, but you wouldn't know if there was an entrance or exit, or if there was, where it would be.
But there's no like rivers or moats or anything like that.
Not that go directly through, no.
Well, 5 pies it is. 3 gates.
5 pies and a keg of ale.
Keg of ale? It's a big keg.
Well, I'm not talking like I'm not talking on barrel. I'm just talking like a keg's worth.
I don't think the guards will
drunk.
appreciate.
While we're discussing, could we send someone out to take a look before anything else?
Do you know how boring guard duty is? A lot of guards drink on the job.
Sure.
No. A lot of guards are proud, God-fearing men who have disciplined.
Both are true.
Wrong.
You both are right to a certain extent. Depends on the people, not the fact that they're guards.
Depends on their leadership. And if their leadership says no drinking on the job, then they can't do it.
I wonder who's their actual leader.
Doesn't mean they listen.
I wonder who's the actual leader of the city. Is there like a mayor?
Well, the mayor's just the leader of the common folk. What you're looking for is the guard captain.
Sure, but the question is, there like anyone more important living in the city? Perhaps we could say we're mercenaries hired to help them out, and they just let us through.
There's a bunch of locals around. I could check for rumors. This is a tavern, right?
How many people are in the tavern?
This is where the DM says, there was a bunch of locals around, and then you guys started talking about all this stuff.
Yeah. Hence my idea of should we be talking this from the beginning or like taking in the back room, but I assumed we're like stage whispers and shit.
We're in like this little corner table where no one's around. Whispering, I'm sure.
How many people are in the tavern at the moment?
There are 3.
3 other people.
Yeah.
And are they all humans?
2 are human and 1 looks like half orc.
Okay. None of us are half orcs.
Nope.
What's the gender of the half orc?
Female. Sat with one of the humans.
Interesting.
I walk outside and check up on Diana, make sure she's okay.
Okay.
Zartlim's
22 minutes later.
Zartlim's gonna leave the information gathering to them. He's, as far as he's concerned, we've already got a decent plan and backup plan, so he is going to work on the armor a bit and head up to it.
Okay.
We're gonna, like, at the very least, we're gonna have like half a day of, before going to bed, and then we're gonna do it. I was just asking.
Remembering that the sleeping the arrangement within the whole hog is once the business is closed, it's the stone cold floor.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a
Right.
few drinks to the 2 people, the half orc and the man.
In that case, Zartlim's just gonna work on the armor until people stop ordering food and start heading out.
We do have the tent, so not really a big deal.
Circaval, sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna spend 1 gold and buy drinks to the half orc and the guy, and ask around about what's happening in town because I just arrived.
I would like to join him in listening in.
Yeah, sure. So the female kind of grunts a little bit and is like, "Thank you. What's the reason for buying a sale?"
Pardon me. I am Sir Cavell, traveling hedge knights, and I recently arrived in town. Outside of town, and I was wondering if you people have been here longer than me, which you probably have. And if you could inform me as to the events happening in town.
Her face kind of turns to almost like a grin to a stone cold. What do you mean by you people?
My good madam, I'm merely inquiring as to your
town
and his status as citizens of the town of whatever the place is.
The chair squeaks back as she stands. She's a good like 2 foot, maybe 2.5 foot taller than you, and she says, "What? Because you think you're better than us?"
No, because I am very ill-informed as to the nature of this place. Would you please help a humble hedge knight out?
Ronan's going to come over and try and defuse the situation, hoping that a monk.
You are not going to defuse the situation. I'm going to make it worse.
Okay. As Ronan does that, he gets pushed back.
Excuse me, the small little creature in the in the feet about everyone else. I believe you confused our good nature for ill will. Is it possible that we used some words to offend you in some way? If that is the case, we apologize.
I think your friend here is a racist, and he's just trying to
Racist?
cover his tracks because he's puny.
Last time I checked, I'm puny.
I like you. I think you have spirits. Let's fight.
How about just a friendly arm wrestling competition? That would lessen the damage on the tavern, and it would also not make Meliodas kick you out.
So
both of you, right?
I want a persuasion check from both Caval and from Fizzle.
Like,
Meanwhile, I'm just flirting with the fair maiden, Lady Diane.
Yeah, she's twiddling her fingers through her hair as you are showering her with gestures of compliments and all sorts of other things. I'm
just
guessing.
Being charming. just putting out the biggest suave, charming personality.
So, in response to
it is with
the conversations that's going on, she leans down and grabs from beneath the table that you didn't see before one of the largest normal sized warhammers that you've seen. It couldn't be bigger if it tried without being owned by a giant.
Yep. Did that have a club? I forget.
Yeah, that's the only other warhammer you've seen that is bigger than this. It is a very large, tall stem, silver, ornate decorated handle, and the head of it looks like a chess piece, almost like a bishop, but on the end of this warhammer. And she stares down and says, "If you really want to do this, we can." And she smiles.
Might I suggest you take it outside? It is a tavern after all, and by the looks of Meliodas, he's not really happy with you guys fighting inside.
He doesn't respond to you at all.
Blast! Meliodas, do something!
Your persuasion of 9, just you're irrelevant.
Alright, let's go outside.
Okay.
And I will walk outside, equip my shield, and we will
Drink up him, I haven't rested yet.
We will spar.
And as you exit the tavern, you realise that the 2 humans have followed her.
Oh shit!
And just outside, you see Ronan and the fair maiden, Lady Dan.
I was gonna warn you.
And as you turn around, the 2 humans draw swords, and they're one of them's just like.
1 second.
This wasn't in the manual for the Marquis of Van Taylor. 3 against 1.
Can I make a perception check to see if Zartlam even notices they're ganging up on him, since I have such a terrible pass?
As you are doing your armor, you'd be at disadvantage, but yes, you can.
Sounds good to me.
Right. Well, I'm following just the same.
Nope.
Because you don't like being ignored.
You focus on a particular part of the armor. It seems like it's smeared, and you're like, I've buffed this bit already, and you're like, oh, for God's sake. And you kind of lick your thumb and kind of try and buff it out a bit more, and you get your cloth.
Squeak, squeak.
I have a passive of 13, and that's what I'm gonna be using to see if I even notice them, because I'm busy flirting with it.
Yeah, I would imagine at this moment in time you're far too busy paying attention to Diane.
Yeah.
Would
And
I
we're
have
speaking
noticed?
in giant.
You can look. Whoever wants to see if they could roll a perception check. If you was doing anything,
Well.
it will be at disadvantage.
I
I
was.
just realized.
I
Go ahead. I just realized I have a broken sword and damaged old armor that both of which I'm trying to fix, and one day they will be the best items I own. I swear.
So, that's gonna happen one day.
Yeah, Ronan, you see, you kind of witness it a little bit too late, but you do see it as soon as
I've seen them kind of walking outside, and I
Yeah.
found
you
like
thought it was odd why these two humans got up and
Yeah.
followed as well.
I haven't been present to the entire fucking conversation. I'm pretty sure I'm well aware of what's coming. I mean, seriously.
They ignored you, and that made you mad.
Don't get mad. But I'm obviously seeing this. I mean, I've been part of the conversation. They just ignored me.
Okay, I've kind of snuck out stealthily. I've done a stealth roll,
Okay, sure.
and so that they don't notice that I've noticed that they've
Yeah, no
noticed.
worries. That's fine. As you turn around after sort of readjusting your armor and your shield, you turn around and you see these three individuals, Gaval.
I look at them and I say, well, 3 against 1. I suppose that's fair. And I draw my sword.
Okay.
What level are we right now? Because I'm not certain when we
5.
rested. 5, okay.
Yeah, you hit a milestone last session.
But don't we not level up until we've had a long rest?
That was my question, because I think it took us less than a day to get here.
No, because you rested as you met Diane, but that was the milestone, but you didn't have the time until after Gil Thunder had been and gone.
Okay. That because it was confusing to me because we got interrupted in the middle of the race and they moved on and I got confused. Yeah.
So So
that case.
All right.
Give me one moment.
Plus, to be fair, me and Diana are probably around back of the hood.
Damn! Like I said, 22 minutes later.
Yeah, I'm preoccupied.
Roll performance.
Constitution saving throw, more like
It's
it.
not that easy.
I don't think that.
Yeah, I know. It's just a joke. I had a character that could do like done any person was done pretty much.
I said I'm preoccupied. I didn't say what I was doing. That makes me preoccupied.
Sure.
She's like, so as you are readying for battle, you have she steps and is like, you come into our place where we decided to have a relaxing meal, and then you throw racial slurs, assuming that you're better than us.
Sure.
What gives you the right?
Madam, I'll apologize profusely after you've beaten me up.
Wait, what?
Go ahead and roll your initiative.
Could we get in on this action, perhaps?
Yeah, because I'm outside. Can I roll initiative as well?
Yeah.
Could I have my token, please?
I would like to be here, behind the window.
I get across. Hold on.
Just in case shit hits the fan.
You do know the window's not open, right?
I don't know what that
Yeah.
is.
Should all of us roll initiative just in case, or just those who are aware of what's going
just
on?
those that are aware of what's going on, I think is fair.
All right, just checking.
14.
Okay. And she kind of puts out her hand for like to hold back the other two from doing anything.
Okay.
But with the initiative, Ronin, what would you like to do?
I would like to hold my action, which will be if I attack, do I get both my attacks and flurry of blows, or just one attack?
If
You
you
wouldn't
hold
get
your
your
attack,
movement.
it's whatever you're able to do at your attack, isn't it?
So yeah, if I can attack, I can attack twice because I'm
Mhm.
5th level now,
Sure.
and then I can flurry of blows. Could I do all 4 attacks?
I
Uh,
don't think you
if I
can do
held-
your I don't think you'd be able to do a bonus action.
The
'cause
bonus.
it
So
will
it's
pass
just the
as-
2 attacks.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold both attacks then. If Circaval should become bloodied.
Sure. Okay.
In one turn? Jeez. She does 20 damage in one turn. I will be impressed.
Well, there's 3 of them.
No, the rest are staying back. She did more
She's kind of palmed out for them to hold.
And that's sort of what I'm here for. You know, if you guys want to have a one-on-one, you can. But if it gets more involved, then
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm getting involved. So
Is
yeah,
that what
so
you're
I
saying
suppose-
that to them?
No. I'm saying
Okay.
that's what I'm holding my action. If the 2 behind attack,
Okay.
I'm going to run in and attack them.
Okay. Good to know. Fizzle.
Similar fashion, I would like to craft a alchemical fire and play with it a bit in case they decide to do something stupid they're not supposed to do.
Okay.
Well, then it's just me and the orcess. Let's go.
So,
Kinky.
first of all, the half-orc female moves closer, and she swings at you with her warhammer.
Yep. AC 19.
If I can remember where my bloody chat log is. 21 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
Okay. 4 bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
And she says, "Your apology is irrelevant. You shouldn't have said it to begin with."
Melee, the victor determines the interpretation of my apology. And
Natural
swing,
one.
and
Roll a 1d20.
oh god.
I need to find that link again.
Do you want the one I use?
Yeah, if you could please. I should really bloody save it.
Yeah. Makes things easier. Bloody hell.
Mediocre.
Coming to you over Discord now.
Okay, cool.
With a melee weapon, that one, it should be another d20. Which I guess you already had him roll.
Yeah. You hit the well, hitting someone unintended, you're the closest person, so you're gonna have to hit yourself.
What? You can't do self-harm? What the hell?
And roll a second attack.
Lots of DMs have nat ones be self-harm.
Oh,
Yeah, not really uncommon to hit yourself with a natural
So
one.
as yeah, I think we'll do that. Where is it?
Like,
So as you swing your long sword like down, you kind of manage to catch the side of your face. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh god. Of course.
You almost
Lucky.
lose your ear from as you swing it down. You've misjudged yourself slightly, and you catch the corner of your ear, and you're like, "What the?" And as you look at this individual now, as she's standing in her full grace, you can see that part of her part of her armor underneath her clothing, her cloak, has a like an insignia, like a guard's insignia on it.
Oh shit!
I just-
Useful.
I just realized you multi-class.
Yeah.
You don't have extra attack.
No, but I can recover, so second wind as my bonus action. And then, let's see. Let's try again. Action surge. What the fuck?
Okay, that makes absolutely no sense.
Go ahead and roll another 1d20.
I'm fated to lose this.
That's a third one. Something is not right here.
Oh no!
That dice needs to be retired.
I know what a nat 1 is on this.
So
Well-
and that one, oh shit.
Oh shit!
Why are we rolling with critical failures?
Because you rolled 3 natural ones in a row. That's why.
So as you swing too heavy this time, and your sword
Flies off.
ricochets off of the stone flooring, and your blade breaks.
Is it magical?
No.
Nope.
Well, then it's broken.
You can't break magical items. That would be silly.
That's why I'm asking.
You can. It just takes a lot more force.
But not from this.
Sir Cavell looks up and he says, having some performance issues.
That's an understatement.
So
Come on, don't worry about it, Cavell. You've seen Zartlim fight with a broken sword all the time. He tends to actually do better with it.
She looks at you like really confused, like you're just not worth it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just,
And I'm just gonna do another quick roll because they are all Crown's Guard or King's Guard.
Fuck. Well, at least you can use their armor.
So I'm just gonna see if they would have overheard your conversations.
Do we know that they're Kran's Guard?
Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, so Cavell has only noticed that there's an insignia on the half orc's armor.
Well, they might die.
Because I'm thinking now we've got armor, we could just walk in.
Same. We could pretend to be good at that.
True.
No. So she says, You're not very good at this.
Look, I picked a fight. I didn't expect to win it, but I wanted to fight you still.
Perhaps you should give up while you're ahead. And she kind of just pushes you aside and carries on to walk.
Can I have a go?
Hold
I
on,
say that in character.
The two humans look back at you.
And I'm just perched up behind the window, just leaning against the wall.
Yeah, the two humans just look back at you and just
Piss off.
You can go ahead and roll a perception check if you like.
Perception?
Sorry, not perception. Persuasion check. It will be at disadvantage though because she's kind of lost interest by this point. You're still in combat though, so. I mean, one sort of kind of who has his sword ready, kind of goes to step towards you as if he wants to have a go, and his co-partner just kind of grabs his shoulder and gives a shake as if to say it's not worth it.
Ah, come on.
So she begins to walk away from you, Cavell. So if you're continuing, you will get an attack of opportunity.
All right, I will grapple her.
Desperate much? Desperate much?
Okay.
Look, I picked a fight for a reason.
Okay,
Fists.
but that's how it's coming out. Like you're desperate right now.
He's trying to cop a feel with his damage.
What the fuck?
That's
So roll.
the only thing that one's like.
What? I don't
So
see a roll
it's,
yet.
is it just a strength, isn't it? Strength roll.
Should be athletic.
Strike.
Athletics.
If it's a grapple check, it will be athletics or acrobatics. No.
Yeah. So I think I have to hit her first, and then forgo the.
No.
No, it's
Some-
a contested. It's a contested athletes.
Yep.
Well, but the defender can choose athletics or acrobatics.
Some DMs require an unarmed strike to hit first, but by the book, it's just a contested check.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, having two rolls is just troubles.
15.
It's not horrible wrong. But let's see what they get.
6. You like grapple her from behind,
Oh!
like almost like a bear hug, but from behind, and you have your arms now wrapped around her. She's quite broad, even for a female orc. And the other two kind of just like look at each other and like, I wouldn't.
I said, you hear Sir Cavell say, "Too late."
Are they getting involved? The other two.
They're just like in shock that someone's even considered grappling her at this stage.
I mean, yeah.
So you have her grappled. What would you like to do?
I punch her.
Desperate!
Ah!
Okay. Okay.
That should actually be 1 plus your strength, so that should be 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good to know.
That was weird.
A lot of people don't remember to put the 1 in when they're setting up the macro, so I always check for people.
Thanks.
Oh, that was actually...
I forget, grapple doesn't stop her from attacking you, though.
No, it doesn't.
No, just 0 movement speed.
Yeah.
And it doesn't she have disadvantage?
Nope,
No.
that's restrained.
Right.
That's a better condition. Oh,
You need the
If you have
grappler
the grappler
in
feat.
order to do that.
Oh shit! I might need to restart in a second. Getting an error. Take me a couple of minutes. I'll do it now just in case. Fuck. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
No worries. So she holds her warhammer in such a way that it's kind of the stem is out in front of her, and the hammer is like at the rear, and she's gonna try and bop you on the head.
Sweet. AC 19.
She's totally gonna hit you.
She doesn't. She kind of misses, swings to the side of your head, and like you sort of kind of maneuver your shoulder a little bit for her to miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm guessing everyone is still stationed as they are stationed.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm just gonna hold my attack again in case these two get involved. But I'm also gonna shout out, no weapons, fists only.
I mean, she's already at a disadvantage. Might as well use a hammer. And, yeah.
I'm assuming Sir how the hell is this gonna punch her a bunch?
Okay. You miss.
Yep.
And she will repeat the same process before. Uh, 20
hits.
for 7 bludgeoning.
Ow.
And you can kind of feel her form hulking and tensing.
Why don't you headbutt her?
Yeah, I will. Sir Cavell tries to headbutt her.
With a 19.
19 will hit.
Alright. 5.
Okay.
5 whole bludgeoning damage from a headbutt.
I'm really not trained for this.
Okay. She's gonna attempt to break free.
Okay. That's an opposed athletics.
Yep. She rolled a 15.
Yep.
What's up with you and ones tonight, Sir
I have
Cavell?
no idea. So she breaks
Scarlet,
free.
we're here to see this.
I attack her again.
I think Sir Cavell's wearing a one.
Yep.
Yep.
Is this one a new one? Okay, cool. And
What's the matter, lady? Just getting warmed up.
Was that another natural one?
Yeah, I said Sir Cavell must be wearing a onesie.
What was in the chat still?
So, she's going to turn, face you, and attempt to push you over, knock you prone.
All right.
Super
That's an
good.
opposed athletics. 20.
Mm, 21 just beat you.
Yeah, so you just see Cavell go down. And then he gets back up again.
She says, "This is not worth my time."
And then he punches her.
And then I punch her.
Nope.
Nope.
Or try and kick her in the ass.
No.
You swing wide.
Can I slide my blade to him, my sword?
Sorry.
Can I slide my sword to Sir Cavell?
You could
Why would
try.
do that?
So what is it, like a dex throw?
Yeah.
Does he try and pass him a short sword?
Yeah, I'm just going to slide it across the ground.
Okay. Still dex.
$13.
Okay. It's about 10 feet from him. So you slide it along, and it kind of catches on some of the uneven stonework, and it stops about 10 feet in front of him.
So I mentioned to Sir Cavell that I've done that as well.
Okay.
I'm not just gonna Sir Cavell, my blade, and
Bing, 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 bing.
sorry.
Well, it's a good thing you got airbags. Because I'm colliding with you a lot.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
21 to
It's
hit.
like a
21 will hit. Yep.
Full bludgeoning.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And with that, she's like, "You're just pestering me now. I have things to do." I mean, you've hit her a bunch of times, but she does not look phased.
Well, at least they trained the Crown's Guard. Well, and I punch her again.
Did she walk away already?
And she was attempted to, but she had an attack of opportunity against her. 17 is meat to beat.
So it's a hit.
Yep.
5 bludgeoning.
Okay, good to know. And she, after like taking it, you see a little bit of blood like come from her face, like her mouth. She kind of spits to the floor and is like, "What exactly do you want?"
I thought that was fairly obvious. I wanted to know what was happening in town.
Perhaps you should reconsider how you ask. Comes across quite racist.
You know, you only assume that. You're from the window.
I understand that you might be sensitive about such issues, and I have apologized.
Has she noticed? Like, I'm like curious. Has she not noticed I'm a goblin and I'm walking around with him?
She's seen her share of goblins.
Then he's considered the racist.
But once this escalated into a physical challenge, I couldn't back down. So, you gonna let me down easy? Or shall we go down hard?
To be honest, Cavell, you've kind of, yeah.
Escalated it.
Might want to stop right there while you're not falling too much behind. I yell from the window.
She kind of looks down at you and it's like, "It's been a while since someone's made me bleed.
From a punch?
But
Blasted guts.
if you really want to know what's going on in Damari, why don't you go there yourselves and find out?
Yeah, but it's like...
You
I
seem
will.
quite capable of looking after yourselves. Perhaps there's work for you there. Or you could always join the ranks of the guards. A little training you may need, but... Give me a sec, guys.
I think we're like overthinking it. Can't we just like walk in with like looking for what mercenaries looking for work?
I mean, we could do a lot of things.
Unless like, they have a description over here, which I don't know if it's the case.
I mean, we could beat them up and take their uniforms.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's true, but they're gonna realize they're missing, and like whatever we're gonna do with them, we can just kill them, but that's
Yeah.
We shouldn't really be discussing this out of character. We should like wait for them to leave, to be honest, right now.
Mm. Yeah, I picked the fight. I was going to escalate this anyway. So it's like...
Yeah, but
Sir Cavell always makes the job 10 times harder than it needs to be. As I said, he beheaded someone in the middle of a town where we didn't have any rep, really.
Yeah, I did reprimand him for that earlier, because Fizzle was not part of that. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is your brain?
Okay, so... How do you respond?
Well, she said I could become a guard, and I'm just like... I'll probably go there tomorrow.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Ignore him, please.
Do you have a name? I'll keep an eye out on the records.
Shh.
Oh, man.
I already did say his name.
They call me Sir Cavell. I'm a traveling henchman.
Sir Cavell. Fair enough. And she begins to walk away, which, if you're continuing, you can, if you so choose, have an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, and I look back at the two other guys and I say, she likes me.
No, she doesn't.
They you can see them kind of chuckle to themselves. They resheath their blades and begin to follow.
The discount thing, I believe, could have been avoided. It seemed pretty pointless to me, and I hand them over a healing draught.
Oh, thanks.
Hold on, the middle. It's somewhere.
Ronan, thanks for the short sword. I didn't use it.
That was
the
terrible. Ronan just looks at you and just said that was terrible.
Yep, I agree.
That was absolutely terrible.
What do you mean terrible?
How many ones did you roll? He says that in character.
I did see one break. That sword. At the very least, that's several gold pieces of unnecessary damage. Because just how long have you been swinging the blade? How could you? Like seriously?
I don't know what happened. It's like the gods conspired against me.
Sure.
That must not be devout enough.
Enough points.
I will have to pray tonight, to the gods and see if they favor me tomorrow.
Sure.
I hand the katana blade to Sir Cavell and just say, you might need this until you can find a replacement.
I have a javelin I can poke people with. I don't need the swords.
Okay.
This stupid equipment is getting ruined all the time. I hate it.
Okay. So you enter back into the tavern?
Yeah.
You see Meliodas standing there, both of his hands behind his back, and he kind of gives a smile and begins to chuckle, and his chuckle turns into a laugh, and then it's like a proper belly laugh. And then he just keeps one hand behind his back and he holds out the other towards you, Sir Cavell.
I'm sorry, I'm probably too close to the incident to see the humor.
Just give me the blade.
What? Here.
And he takes the hilt and the broken shard of your blade and kind of pulls out and from behind his back another one, and he has it so the blade is pointing down to the stonework, and he grasps it, holding it out to you, and he says, just look after this one and give it back when you can.
I take the blade and I look at it and I inspect it and I say, well, thanks, I appreciate it.
Well, take his blade. That's just rude.
You are truly an aspect of the lawbearer that I appreciate.
I don't know. Do you want to?
Ronan's feelings have been hurt, so he's going in the corner.
Yeah, about 45 minutes later, Roland walks in with really messy hair, little roughed up clothing, and just with a big shit-faced grin.
Roland, you look like you've been in a battle.
Of sorts.
Well,
you're assuming that's what happened. As I said, she's not that easy.
I know.
Like I said, inside check. I'm not going to do it because I would trust him.
I mean, she used him, not in the way he was intending, though.
From 50 feet somewhere in the bushes. It's like...
Well, the roughed up hair was something that actually happened. It's just, he roughed up his shirt a little. Just add to it.
It's where she was just constantly stroking your hair with her index finger.
Pretty much.
Okay. So, you have your plans.
Yep. Meliodas will poison the guards with pie.
Pie. And
we will walk in as a bunch of monks.
Tonight or tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow.
He goes, looks like I won't be getting much sleep. Thanks, guys.
It's only 5 pies.
Well, we have like an afternoon. I can help out a bit.
I don't think you can manage the specific flavor that we're looking for.
Oh. Ah, you're too kind to say. Oh, I'll put in an extra one just for you, Cavell.
But don't lose some sleep, you know?
I appreciate it, Meliodas. You've been a friend, and I will return the favor and the gesture later.
I walk up to Meliodas and hand him 10 gold.
Okay.
I'm like, is that enough for the keg of ale and the 6 pies now, I guess?
That should cover it, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Don't forget, we gave you a whole bunch of meat before.
Oh, that's all gone.
Already?
Yeah, we had an influx of customers as we arrived, and that was the last of them. I think they were pretty much part of the guard shift, so I think they must have enjoyed the pies.
Well, if you keep this up, the entire guards contingent will be here eventually. I'm sure of it.
You should put up a sign above your hut that says, "Home of the world's best meat pie."
I think that's already there. Probably.
No, I don't think he has a sign that says that outside.
Does he have a sign that says that?
So that was what I was wondering about. We should have like a sign, the Legion should have a motto and like a thing, a banner. I think we should put a pie somewhere in there.
Sure. I'll think about it. Sure. Plan Z.
Okay,
Can
so
I-
Meliodas goes and brings out some of the bedding packing and stuff, moves
We have
over a
a-
few tables and makes some
We could
space.
We could use the tent.
You could.
Yeah,
Instead of,
Yeah. you guys.
sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, I can use the tent.
How about them?
Okay.
Doesn't mean you guys are allowed to sleep in it.
Well, see, if you get a healing potion next time you're about to die, how about them apples, huh?
Can I throw the tent?
Well, I do usually do it.
Not a good joke there.
I just throw it and go, "Circus, circus!" And then I look at the goblin and I'm like, well, you were the only one I was going to allow in there, but if you want to be like that, I cannot allow. I say to the goblin.
Let's see. Holy places around this town.
And here I thought we were friends.
I
Are there
was
any
going to
holy
let you,
places?
but then you
Holy or-
said that.
Yeah, you were.
Any churches? Is what
Are
he's
there any-
asking.
Yeah, are there any holy or unholy places in this town?
You don't know.
Huh.
We haven't been here.
Hey, Meliodas, is there any churches in the area that you're?
Well, like I said, I only arrived here the other day, so
But
I
people
don't know.
talk in your tavern, don't you listen?
Oh, what's the point of listening?
You pick up rumors,
Eh,
and then you can sell
Rumors
said
are usually
rumors to
lies.
people.
Anyway, it's not really a big deal. We can probably see it if we even look. Churches generally are tall. We could probably see it from far away. Why are you looking for a church anyway? Do we need one?
I'm praying to the gods of fate. You know.
Do you require a church to do that?
No, but it generally helps.
Sure. Okay.
There's a giant stuffed elephant in the tent somewhere, and I use it as my bed.
okay.
I'm gonna put on the finishing touches on my helmet. Ping, 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 ping. Ping.
I was just kidding. Everyone can sleep in the tent if they want. Just like
both
these.
for Fizzle and for Zartlam, as you're doing some free time workload, if you can just both do performance checks for me.
Oh no, this is the thing that happens. I have
okay.
been doing it as part of my class.
Oh, okay.
Like I was just thinking that if we're finishing the
Sure,
day,
sure,
I'm
sure.
saying that just as an RP.
No
If we have time, though, I would. If I have enough time, I would like to try and make a healing potion if we have enough time.
That's a day to do.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna like RP put the finishing touches on my helmet.
No
That's
worries,
bad.
okay. But
Polished
I will need
upgrade.
one from Zartlan then regarding his armor.
Yep.
So a Smith tools check essentially.
Yeah,
Zartlan here.
I don't know. He didn't drop out, did he?
In chat, but been quiet for a while.
That's a smell test.
You haven't fallen asleep on us, have you, Maltz?
Well, it is like 5:30 in the morning for him, so.
Yeah.
Game starts at 4 in the morning for him. 9 a.m. for me.
When was the last time we heard him speak?
Before the brawl.
Oh boy. It's been like an hour or something. Half an hour. That's enough time to doze off.
He could have just stepped away and grab a drink.
It's possible.
He's like, oh, they're in a fight. This could take a while. Go get a drink. Maybe make something to eat.
Yep.
Fall asleep.
I woke up 10 minutes before the game was supposed to start.
I usually like wake up when I had to wake up at 4 a.m. for a game. I would wake up at 4 a.m. and then turn on the computer.
I went to bed at 4 a.m. my time. I woke up at 8:50 my time.
I did that yesterday. No big deal.
I woke up 10 minutes before the game, and I'm like, wait, I actually woke up on my own in time? Miracle!
You arrange your sleeping arrangements, and through the night you smell the occasional wafting of cooked meats. You have Sikaval, you have dreams of being in a spectral space where there are hundreds of floating pies
Oh god.
in just a irregular space. They just
and
fly
in
around.
your dream, you're eating them all.
One of them comes closer to you, and where the lip of the pie is, it just says, "Hi, Caval." And you wake up like in a big startle, like shock, and you're like sweat pours off your brow.
Was that who I think it was?
So
That
in the morning,
sounds like a horrible
you see
nightmare, yep.
From the window as you begin to get ready for the day. You see outside there's like a carryable box, open top box, and there are several pies that are covered by a white sheet, softly blowing in the breeze of the morning. That seem to be waiting there, and off to the side there's also a medium-sized keg waiting there to be transported to the guards.
I don't know if we're gonna need that. Sure.
We're going to need that.
The thing about the keg of ale is it has a backup plan. You can always set it on fire and roll it at them.
What's up down there doesn't really...
It's ale, not spirits.
Yeah. It's like 5% alcohol at best. So, and it requires like above 40, I think, in order to burn. So...
It's not a smart plan.
Nope. I would say we just walk up and offer our services to the town. I mean, this could be someone that's looking for some mercenaries.
As a merchant, right?
Yeah, we have a bunch of reasons that we could attempt to parley with the gods, and the backup plan is the the pies, which they would probably not get immediately from a bunch of strangers. Do keep that in mind.
Yeah, you have 8 pies.
A lot of pies. So we get on 5 plus 1, 6.
Yes.
Okay.
We're just innocent bystanders traveling into town, selling our meat pies.
Sure. How about we, try to just not be too conspicuous? Do I need to disguise someone with some magic? Do we need to do that?
Meliodas speaks up, like, "Hey, if you're looking to represent the tavern, you can always wear one of the uniforms. Hector's one would probably fit Circaval."
We could just say we're from here if you want us
I
to.
can do that, yes.
Question: did Circavel change his appearance because he did order a new cloak?
Yeah, we already purchased a tunic.
Yeah, I have a different thing on, but it's. I'm still a recognizable man.
Yeah.
In order to wear this uniform, you obviously have to disrobe from your armor for it to fit and be passable.
I'll make the sacrifice.
What was the question?
No question.
No, I didn't understand. But
yeah, it's. I have to disrobe from the armor and not be a knight anymore.
It could, like I said, I could disguise you for an hour if that helps.
All right.
Just a thought. Just a thought. We've just fought with 3 guards. What if they're on the gate?
Big deal. They didn't attack us. They don't if they wanted to do something, they would have done it.
Well, I'm saying we're trying to disguise ourselves, but by you taking off your armor, but you've just had a fight with them up close and personal. She's going to recognize you if she's there.
True.
Yeah, best for him personally to be the same because they will have a description of him.
Yeah.
I was just asking that is anyone feeling uncomfortable with their visual appearance? I could alter that for them. So I was saying. And I put on my new helmet, which is like this strange metallic helmet. It somewhat resembles a goblin head. Right then. Shall we go then?
I just pull the hood up over my head and keep going.
Okay.
Sakava, I believe you and I should head the party, just in case.
Yeah.
They know you and to be honest, I gotta keep you in check since last time you almost freaking killed yourself.
What do you mean, killed myself?
You did break a sword. Yes, for no apparent reason. In a tavern with the town's guard. Well, to be honest, we didn't know they were town's guard, but still. A word of caution for the future.
You're a skittish and cautious man. I understand.
Well, yes, I am. It's how I've survived so many years.
Okay.
Start walking.
Are you proceeding into Del Mary?
Yeah, heading towards the nearest gate.
Yep. We're gonna...
And
procession.
your appearances?
Same as usual.
So,
Okay.
can I just clarify, what's the deal with monks and papers?
Because of the Great War with the Holy War, with the fact that a lot of the gods were believed to have fallen and no longer existent, the hope is that the monks and holy people are attempting to try and recommune or rebirth gods.
Okay.
So even though you will be recognized as a monk and you'll likely not be asked for papers because they wouldn't want to upset any sort of unbalancing that may be occurring, they will make a mental note that a monk is within their city walls.
Okay.
Because let's face it, you're a monk, you're going to get seen as a monk. The likelihood is that you're probably the only monk in the town.
Right. So if I do anything, they're going to know it was me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where everyone else, even though they're distinguishable by what they wear, it's likely easier for them to be untraceable.
Okay. Cool.
It's a win for you because you don't necessarily need to say who you are.
Need papers, but then I can't really do anything in town. Unless I get changed.
Mm-hmm.
Flip that cloak upside down, inside out.
I have reversible monk gear. Can turn it inside out and.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And we walk onward.
Yep.
Okay. So it takes you about 20-25 minutes with the carrying of things. So we thought you might have dozed off.
To be fair, I wasn't really doing anything.
No. So as you approach Dalmary, the gates seem to be a lot livelier than you'd expected in terms of Crownsguard. There are a few more than you anticipated there being at the particular gate. However, there are the 3 archers that you would see at the tall tower, and there are the standard 5 guards with a predominant captain of this particular gate standing there waiting for any entrancees that wish to pass through the city. Some of the other guards off to the side are searching through certain boxes and crates and seem to have seized some
Okay, Mom and I are going on.
carts, and it almost looks like they're looking for contraband or something along that lines from what they've managed to retrieve from passerby and traders. So
is everything inside the town? Like everything is behind the
yeah,
town walls?
you can't see any marketers or any travelers or anything like that outside the walls. You can see beyond the gate that it is that people are sort of going about their business. There are people sort of here, there, and everywhere, sort of going to and from locations. Yeah. So yeah,
it's basically a normal morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's much. Oh, so Cavall, shall we engage them in conversation then?
I will let you decide how this conversation goes. I'm far more well-spoken than you, though. So, how would you proceed?
We're simply here to find work, and I would also like to renew my merchant's license because it has been in use.
I'll remind you, I don't have papers.
I do, but I would like to have them renewed. But that is
yeah,
like
you do. You can be any one of the 2 people that were by the tree.
Like, I would prefer for them not to do a full search, so let's be just truthful. We are here to find work and possibly renew our licenses, because they haven't been in use for a while.
All right.
Shall we do me first? Oh.
Well, you will present yourself, and I will speak on your behalf, I suppose.
Well, we start walking slowly towards the guy that's like closest by.
Okay.
Well, person, because I don't know who's there.
Halt! Present your papers.
Good morning.
Yep, I walk up with the papers, and I say, here.
I am here to actually renew my papers. They haven't been in use for many years, and also to provide our services to the town, if need be. I am a experienced crafter, merchant, and a history buff, if you might say.
Where have you traveled from?
We travel from a nearby town. Can I get a name? Because I don't have them to...
Can't you see the papers? It says Camelot, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We came from like Britannia.
Out of character. I don't have a map in front of me, so I can't
So
really
you
say
have
anything.
some of the main kingdoms. You've had Leones.
So what would be on this side of the forest?
This side, Leones, Dalmari, Byron.
This is
The problem with saying
Tala.
you're from a nearby town is
Razel.
to send someone to check. If
Pretty
that's
much
true.
most of the towns are this side.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say take the diplomatically furthest routes.
like I am from a town nearby, but I don't know the name. Well, personally, I can't. Hold on, let me do that. Like,
Okay.
I'll just tell them.
We
Well,
came from fucking Britannia.
to be honest, I'm from a faraway village. We just ended up here. It's like, I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
You do know your hometown and where you're from.
Nope.
It's on your license.
No. Does that say on the license?
It
I
should
don't.
be your residence should be on your license.
Yeah, I point that to them. It was a while back, but I haven't been there, while mostly traveling, gathering materials and natural remedies.
Kind of
pretty
looks
much.
at your papers.
Like full with bags of herbs and,
And
magical.
so Kaval, where did you get your papers from?
My papers are from traveling, just random papers. I think I stole someone's papers. I don't know. There are some papers.
He says this in character.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, these are papers that I've basically just been walking around. They're not really. They're hedge knight papers.
Also, we brought some. Well, considering I'm not a merchant.
So first things first, Fizzle, your deception with advantage.
Sure.
And
I just realized I would have had a great cover for getting in here, and I didn't think to prepare it before.
Why didn't you say?
Kaval, your is
Because I just
a
thought of it.
straight deception.
Oh,
Straight
fuck.
deception.
That's a thing that's.
You have advantage, Fizzle.
Yeah, I forgot to click advantage. Oh, that's really. I was almost a natural.
Why are you deceiving people?
I was hoping to. I was being honest, to be honest, but Apparently, it's
you're correct. Your papers are out of date.
Well, that's why I presented you straight up. I'm not trying to lie to you or anything.
He kind of looks behind, is like.
Also, we did, since we are not really merchants yet, we hope to be. We did bring a small, I don't know what if the custom for this town is. Some simple
Beautiful town.
and ale. It is
Eyes.
straight up a gift.
They wouldn't happen to be from the newly famed Whole Hog Tavern up the road there, would
We
they?
just passed it by and thought these pies were amazing.
Make a deception check.
I personally don't like them for the best they are.
Look, your papers are out of date, especially yours at the back. And I think there may be some inconsistencies with the application. You may need to get them updated too.
Could you just point us to this office? I'm guessing there's an office nearby that we could do.
Not in Dalmari.
No?
All papers are authorized in the Kingdom States. Closest one here would be Leones. But the papers are still recognizable. You can pass, but if you say there's pies, I will be happy to be compensated for the lack of
Again,
aging.
we apologize for the inconvenience.
I'm yes, pies and ale.
Sorry, who were these? These with you?
Oh
Like,
yes,
next to
they're
the rest of the
simply
group?
colleagues.
Sorry.
Considering
Someone's going to be off to the side if I can.
Okay. Are you hoping
Yeah,
not to get seen?
like I said,
Not stealthing, just not
Okay.
obviously with the group.
Sure, okay.
We are a ragtag team of mercenaries. As I initially said, we are here to also provide our services to the town, if, of course, they need. Like, I'm assuming there is a mayor or, like, always job offering, something like that.
There's a bounty office.
That's the other reason why we're here. Trying to make some coin and a living.
You'll be lucky if there's any bounties up at the moment.
Oh, well. One can only hope.
Okay. In you
Again, we
go.
apologize.
For the others, you will need to provide your papers.
Blast!
Yes.
Apologies.
Remember your
And
pies.
he kind of like bows to the monk and then says,
Monk?
One moment, there, monk.
I just keep walking.
Monk.
And I'm gone.
That's not a good idea.
It's like he kind of looks and then goes, perhaps he's taken a vow of silence.
Well, he's been silent the entire time with us, I believe. I can't read.
You've been traveling with a monk.
Well, he was part of another caravan originally.
The lady favors us.
In you go. You there, ranger.
Yeah.
Papers.
Yeah, I go in, grab my best papers and hand it to him.
Deception roll.
Oh, don't forget your pies.
Yeah, send your ale. Alright. Yeah, I got an 18.
He kind of almost gets distracted by like everyone else going past him. He kind of doesn't even look at your papers. He kind of just holds them, like looks at you, and then just kind of looks back at the guys walking in.
I just smile and smile like I belong.
Okay.
As I hand him the pies, and the ale.
No worries. So let me reveal some of the town a bit more.
Alright. I'll be AFK for a minute.
Yep. Just move your token up when you get a chance.
Wait, so I got away with just walking through and not doing anything?
Yep.
It would seem that they think that perhaps you've taken a vow of silence.
Right, okay. It's good to know.
Told you, man, monks.
They aren't gonna question the monk.
Oh, this.
When we get away from their earshot, I'm gonna say to Sir, what noob guards we have here out there? They didn't even he didn't even look at my papers.
Look, man. Sometimes being a guard is hard work. Sometimes they look the other way. But they're still citizens who are disciplined and honorable and very diligent.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Lady Luck is on our side.
I'm wondering how Zartlam's gonna get in.
So, could I have done something to prepare, Nick?
I did offer the option.
Go for it.
I want to have packed away my chainmail and my greatsword and only be wearing the damaged old armor and my broken
Okay.
as I approach the gate.
Okay. Halt! Present your papers.
I'd love to, but they were stolen from me.
Stolen? By who?
The same people who did this, and just kind of gestures to the condition of his equipment.
It's a small move.
Where did you encounter
look.
these?
About a day's march to the west, a day's march to the east, a group of ragtag figures coming out of the forest as I was trying to reach town.
How many?
Half a dozen or so. Didn't get a good count before they knocked me about a bit.
Any idea on description?
All of them about human size. Don't think there are any women in the group. One of them said something about being chased by holy knights, but beyond that, I can't say much.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a deception check with advantage.
Can I have advantage for the equipment?
Yes, you can.
Oh man. Throwing up percent.
15.
Too bad.
Kind of looks you up and down. And then he kind of looks at the others, and you can see like two of the other guards like scoffing into a pie, and he's kind of like, it's almost like there's an impatience, like it's like, oh yeah, pie, yeah, sure, make sure you report it into the bounties office. In you go.
Will do, and we'll pass on.
That was awesome.
Okay, give me one moment, guys.
What the fuck?
Well,
Throwing up trail?
we're in the town. Let's see if we don't get kicked out.
I think that's the second time I've told guards that I saw the group elsewhere.
Are we just gonna keep doing that every new town we get to? We're just meeting up with this group.
As long as it's working.
Hey, I've got the equipment to back it up. I don't know about you guys.
I don't know. I have a broken sword.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you do.
you enter the town of Dalmary. There are many people walking around the grounds. You see a signpost that seems to have like an engraved kind of map of the town, and then like a series of like a list of things that are available within the town. So,
I'm looking at that.
yeah, give me 1 second. So there is a doctor's home by the name of Dr. Dana. There are 2 taverns, one called the Soggy Stool, one called the Glass Half Full.
I'd rather go to the glass half full than go to a place called the Soggy Poo.
You have a blacksmith shop by the name of Hammer and Tong. A butcher's the Meat Beater.
Come on, man.
The stables, the 3 Horseshoes. A leather worker's by the name of Sam's.
And I'm just looking down the list to see if there's a Fletcher.
A tailor by the name of Needle's Eye. A weaponsmith by Battered Blades. An alchemist's shop by Brewski's Bottles.
There's a lot of things, my god.
There's a general goods stores named Pips Bits. No, don't do that, darling, please. A bookstore, don't test me, by the name of Page Turners. A bank by the name of The Vault. There is a miners' school of Galmix. This is Madeline's School of Galmix. There are 2 churches, one by the name of the Foul Followers, and one by the name of the Forked Road. There's also a graveyard known as Solace Rest, a bounties office known as the Lockup, and there are a series of residents that are listed, but then they
Oh
don't
my
seem
gosh.
applicable.
I just look and go, this town sucks. It doesn't have a Fletcher.
Does it not have a church?
There are 2 churches.
Do I recognise the names of the churches? Do I know sort of?
Go ahead and roll a religion check.
I may have missed it, but was there an armor place that deals with metal armor?
There's
There's-
a blacksmith.
Tongs and something.
You would know very basic information that the foul followers, springs to mind that it's likely the Raven Queen.
Mm.
And the forked road, giving an option between change, is probably the change bringer.
Change. Okay. Are any of these to do with Zuhal?
Yeah.
They are, both of them.
Sorry?
Both of them with them.
Both of them are within Del Mare.
Sorry, I meant both of them are with like Zuhal.
Within Zuhal, there are many different followers of gods. The Changebringer is probably one of the more likely to be a more presence within Zuhal. Yes.
Okay. And is that one that I'd have like an affinity with?
She who makes the path. Chaotic good.
Yeah, I would say you're likely to know quite a bit about the change bringer, but in terms of affinity, that's really up to you.
Okay.
No, they're not my favorite gods.
So,
Well, Zartlam's headed to the blacksmith. I think that goes without. I think that should be obvious.
okay.
And I just frown and go, this town sucks, and he's a Fletcher.
Yeah, would the weaponsmith sell bows?
There's only one way to find out.
Let's go.
Okay. So
Yeah, I go to the
you
weaponsmith.
travel around and you kind of find these particular signed posted shops and buildings. First of all, Zartlam, you see the hammer and tong. You see that it's like a double-doored open workshop. There are a series of tools hanging on the doors, and there's an anvil, and right at the back you can see that there is a piping for the forge that seems to be in use, and you can hear the hammering away as a small sort of stouted looking figure with his back turned is working.
Zartlam was just gonna kind of. Is there like a counter there?
There seems to be like a table in the middle of this space, but not really a counter of sorts.
Zartlam was just gonna wrap the. Kind of knock the metal gauntlet against the table to get the smith's.
Yeah, he kind of goes, huh? Ah. And you see him lift these goggles above his head, and he turns around, and this dwarf, male, elder-looking dwarf looks at you, is like, customer.
He's still in that really shitty armor.
Yes, I am.
How can I? Sorry, are you lost?
No, I think I'm exactly where I need to be. As you can see, I need a little repairs.
A little. And he kind of goes around, and you can see him he's tapping your armor, while you're wearing it. He's just going around your form, almost like he's measuring you up for a new suit, but he's tapping parts of the armor. And he taps a bit, and part of it falls away and just swings. Yep. And you're he's one moment, and he picks up a studding, and he kind of lifts it, and he kind of gives you a bit of a tap, and he's like, no, that's not right. And he gets a pair of grips and grips out. It's one moment, and starts gripping and twisting and bending this particular piece. It's there, that should hold. Now, what can I do for you?
I'd like to rent your forge and possibly your assistance if it's within a reasonable price, as well as purchase the materials needed to conduct the repair.
If you're talking about the suit you're wearing, it's quite a task.
It's not gonna happen in a day.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have quite the budget to purchase a comparable suit brand new.
Well, steel sheets per square feet is 10 gold pieces. The pack of studs, a pack of 100 studs, I'd say is about 5 gold. The
I already have the leathers I need for the inside, so that's taken care of.
Fine. The forge used is around the clock for me to be out of pocket. Quite something, but I'm sure I can arrange you to have at least a day's use of the forge, but that'll set you back about 15 gold.
All right. About how many square foot sheets do you think does Zartlam at least think he'd need to finish the repair?
Probably 3 or 4 tops. So it'd be 2 for where the chest area is, and 1 for the rear of the lower part of the armor, and then like you could probably separate 2 for the back pieces that are completely destroyed.
And then the gloves and the shoes.
So yeah, he'll set down 50 gold for the day of work, packet of studs, and 3 sheets of metal, with letting the smith know that he may purchase more if need be.
Sure.
And then ask how much it would cost to keep the dwarf, the smith here, to assist him in the work as well.
An assistant. Well, I'm not the best skilled, but I get by in my work, and I would say 25 gold would be about a day's work.
Drops 25 more on the table.
Okay.
And starts hammering away.
And this guy's just like, wow, this guy with shitty armor is wealthy.
As you look around this blacksmith's shop, you can see that there's a bucket of horseshoes, and there's like a little black painted sign that says horseshoes 25 gold pieces, and you do see hung up almost like a decorative, like symbolic part of this shop, a heavy steel shield, and it looks quite well formed, and it seemed to have been seen some sort of action in the past, but some of even some of the damage has been sort of polished out and buffed up.
Seems you have some familiarity with repair work, he says. Zartlam says as he gestures to that.
The old days of being a fighting dwarf. I put my back out. I fell off a steed, and now I put my work to repairing and restoring.
Well then, let's make sure those skills haven't rusted, shall we?
Indeed.
And I'll go ahead and get to work.
No worries. So, the weaponsmith. Ronin, you do come across the battered blades.
Yep.
Okay. As you enter the store, there doesn't seem to be anyone about.
I will peruse the shelves and see what seems to be available.
Okay, you see there is a barrel of arrows. You see there's about 10 arrows in this particular barrel. They don't seem particularly great, but there is like a little hanging token that says 1 gold piece. There's 1 arrow in the mix that has a individual head on it. It seems a bit brighter metal than the other steels. This is Of course, a silver arrow.
Oh, can I take it and have a look at it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some tire kicking and sort of make sure it's straight and finger the feathers.
You look at it and it seems it's stable wood, with its neck. The arrowhead is an inwardly pointed arrowhead, so it's not like a traditional triangle. It's kind of like curvature inwards. So it appears to be quite ornate. The feathers are red and green of the arrow base. You also see there are along the back of this shelf behind this counter. You see that there are applications of fluids. And one of them says weapon applications, and then it says 50 gold pieces. And then you also see there is an ornate dwarven-headed war axe that is behind the counter in a glass case.
I'm looking for a longbow.
Yeah, likewise. I'm looking for a longbow too. Are there any bows?
There is a standardized longbow and a standardized just one and a standardized shortbow.
I grabbed the longbow.
Okay.
I'm getting the longbow. I already got a shortbow.
And you hear almost like from nowhere, it is rude just to pick up what you have not yet owned. Usually it's polite to ask before you do that. And you see this dwarven male, young for a dwarf, step out of this, almost like a shadow of the room, as if he was watching you the whole time.
I apologise. I do apologise, my good sir. I was merely looking at the quality, and there was no one here to ask permission from.
Sometimes what you believe to be an empty room is being watched by many eyes.
I see, and I hope you do understand that no ill intention was meant. I was merely just looking at the quality, and I kind of, put the bow to my eye and sort of test its strength. And
no harm done. You seem to have an eye for quality. You picked out the only silver arrowhead we have.
I did notice this, and is there a purpose for it?
Well, they were found amongst others. It seemed to be the only one that was silver. Not yet learnt the origin or reason for it being there. But it seems to have its fair purpose, but no one in the town seems interested in silver these days.
Another question. My friend in here were both interested in longbows. I noticed you've only had one on display. Are there other longbows that you have, or if not, how long would it take you to fashion one? Or
Fashion
to
a longbow? It would depend on what kind of wood and styling you would be required.
I'm a man of...
I just remove my hood and reveal my pointy ears.
He kind of nods to you in a bowed gesture.
Yeah, I'm just you know the type of longbows I prefer.
If you're after an elven bow, then it may take quite a bit longer. We would have to get wood from a fashioned tree from the Feywilds.
Sure.
It could take a few days. However, I do have some strips that could be fashioned into a bow. It may just be a standardized bow, though. You understand?
I'm and how much would the elven bow cost me?
Time.
That is an interesting question. Felicity. Just see. Why can I not find the cost of longbow?
I'll find it 1 second.
Oh, longbow's 75 gold
75,
normally.
yeah, I've got it. Cool. For an elven bow, you're probably looking at 150 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm. I pull out 170 and say, include some elven arrows.
Sure.
Some arrows made out of the wood that you get for this bow too.
Certainly I can. That would be easier
That's what
enough.
the extra 20 gold's for.
I can probably make these within 2 days. I have a series of workers that are quite proficient in elven design.
Yeah.
Would there be anything else? We can upgrade your bows if you like. I have applications for poison if you'd like
What do
poisoned
the
arrows.
applications do?
Well, we only have poison in stock currently, but we can applicate a single arrowhead for 50 gold pieces.
I'm like, and how much is that silver arrow?
The silver arrow, the singular silver arrow, is 1 gold piece.
1 gold piece? I hand him a gold piece.
I believe your friend was interested in the silver arrow.
Oh, man. It's good for were creatures.
Then we have a contested purchase. And he kind of looks
No,
at you both.
I don't know if you want. I'm like, did you want it? I said.
I mean, if you wanted it, then I'd happily relinquish.
No. If you want it, we can have a bidding war.
We do have the ability to applicate silver onto weapons, but usually it does take a while to do so. Again, 2 days for a silver application, but it's only per singular item, so if you'd like an additional silver head, we can do that as an application. Silvered items and weapons are usually 100 gold piece for an application.
Sorry, you keep cutting out.
The silvered weapons are usually 100 gold pieces for the application of silver.
Right.
The arrowheads, of course, we will do for 1 gold.
Is the longbow that's on the shelf is it good quality?
It's it's fairly decent. It's not high end. It's pretty standard. It's almost it's hunter's grade, not military grade.
So what's the difference in like kind of stat wise?
Stat wise, usually military grade is a little bit more potent of a punch to the arrow. Would give much more force behind the arrowhead, giving more damage to whoever it was to come in contact with. However, we are but standardized weapon merchants and smiths. We are not allowed to sell military grade weapons. You must appreciate.
I do. I mean, can you make military grade weapons?
Not allowed.
Do you have the? I'm more asking about your ability more than the legality. Do you have the ability to make military grade?
Of course, I'm an elf. Well, elf on my mother's side.
And I go, and if you can make an elven bow, all elf bows are military. Trust me.
Not the way that we make them.
What does that mean?
It means again, it's the materials used. The wood is good and strong. It is the string that makes the difference.
I'm like,
how much would it be for you to?
If you was,
it is illegal in terms of our capacity of our store. There are certain laws in place to abide by here in Dalmary. It would appear that you're quite new, possibly travelers. But if you insist on attempting to purchase military-grade weapons, there are two options. You can either get the word from the sheriff of the bounties office, or you can join the military.
Can I show him my military insignia?
You can.
I'd show him my military insignia.
Kind of looks at it and it's like, and this is...
This is my military rank insignia.
So
I
you
am in the
already
military.
have military weapons authorized?
Well, not on me, which is why I'm looking to purchase some.
Well, I'm sure if you speak to the captain of the guards, he would be able to requisition you a replacement if you are already part of the forces.
I'm not looking for a replacement, but I also like to help striving young local businesses.
Believe me, we are striving.
Don't worry, once we get in touch with the rebels, I'm sure you can get military.
And he kind of waves his palm off to the side to another sort of cabinet, a glass cabinet, and this one you can see that there's like a shimmer off the glass. And he says, for instance, this was one of our craftsmen's finest work. It's a sword of life stealing, and you can see it's finely crafted with an inlaid electrum kind of hilt, and like there's like a decorative pattern across the blade.
And how much is this blade?
I'm sure it's more than the military is able to pay you at your rank.
I say I'll be back in a couple days to pick up the bow and arrows. And I'll see if I can get the permission from the bounty board along the way.
I'm still dressed as a monk, so he's insulting a monk.
He's not intentionally insulting monk. If you say that you're being assaulted, he will.
Sorry?
Course, if you're telling him you're being insulted, then he may react.
I mean, I'm kind of. Rodin is a little triggered by this. You know, I feel like this man's being condescending to a man trying to bring light and joy to the world.
Yeah, he outright tells him he's being rude to a monk.
Apologies if you feel that I'm coming across rude. It's just that this artwork is quite expensive, and we know that the military isn't known for its great pay. You must appreciate that a work like this is a lot of gold pieces. 2,500 gold pieces to be precise.
Well, in that case, you are correct. That is well above my pay. But it serves you well not to take people at face value and be considerate about your words.
I will take that on board.
I already said I'll be back in a couple days.
Yeah. Does he have like a quiver? Is there a quiver of? Are there quivers with arrows anywhere that I could purchase?
Yeah, the quiver of arrows. You get 10 arrows for 1 gold piece. The quiver is an additional 5.
Sorry, you keep cutting out.
Sorry, don't know why. Should be 5 gold pieces for the quiver and 10 arrows.
And 10 arrows. And how much is the longbow?
The longbow is 75.
75, so it's 85 in total.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting the silver arrow?
There was only one.
Yeah, did you want it?
They can apply more silver, but it will take 2 days to do.
I left it for you.
Yeah, I'll take the silver then.
So 86 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spent a lot more on my bow because I want to know.
So Fizzle and Cavall, what would you be doing in this time?
Yeah, Fizzle, what are you doing?
I was planning on us visiting the
bounty board,
the bounty office.
Yeah.
All right.
See if there's anything. I would prefer not to go alone.
Yeah, I'm following you.
Sure.
We'll make our way
You
to
do
that
come
place.
across the bounty office. There's a big sort of swinging sign above the door that says the lockup, and the door has a big like board in front of it saying currently out of business.
Out of business. What?
Returning in 5 days on quest.
Like out of business seems a little strong. I thought they were like, there's no work
Yeah,
at
no,
all.
not like out of business, but
Yeah,
like
just
out
nothing
of the
interesting.
business, like
Yeah.
away, almost like I've
Okay.
gone to lunch, be back in 5 days, kind of thing.
So, is there like anything resembling a branch of the Merchants Guild or a mayor's office that accepts new like visitors, something like that?
There is a mayor's home, but it is gated and guarded.
Blasted! Who the hell is the mayor to this home? Not like the last one.
Well, all right.
Looks
Time
like-
to do it my way. Let's go visit a temple.
I was gonna say we could still try the captain of the guard and offer services to them, but might not work out the way.
I know who she is.
Guys, as you and I'm guessing you and Caval are together.
Yeah.
So as you are walking around the streets, you hear a child's voice saying, "Have you seen my grandpa? Have you seen my grandpa? Excuse me, have you seen my grandpa?"
It's like we're asking. I'm gonna look it up. Is it asking random people?
You see a small, blonde-headed, elven girl. Child can't be much more than what you would expect about an 8-year-old to be. And she has a series of papers, like parchment sheets, and she's asking everyone that passes by the same thing.
I think we should take a look, Sir Cavell.
Praise the lawbearer. A quest. And you see Cavell jump into action.
Don't scare the child now.
Tiny elf lady.
Stop
I, Sir
yelling!
Cavell, shall find your grandfather.
Stop! I'm trying to pull it, but I'm miserably failing at it.
As you approach, she says, have you seen my grandpa?"
No, but I shall find him. Tell us a description of your grandfather.
He's an elf. Old. He's old.
Where did you see him last?
He came round for tea and we, well, he said he was gonna go and do some shopping before he went home, and that was 3 days ago.
Wow.
He said he was going to do some shopping. Did he
He
say which store he would go into?
No, he came for dinner and left to go home and said he was going to
General
shops
store.
first.
It's the general store.
But if you find him, his name's Charlie Sauberny. Do you know him?
Do we know him? Probably not.
Saul Burney. Can you spell that, tiny elf girl?
S for Sauberny. A for apple. The L for lady. The B for ball. O for orange. R for Robin. N for no one. E for elephant. Y for you.
Saborne. Aha! Magnificent. We should take you to the Temple of the Changebringer and put you away somewhere.
I don't want to go there.
Otherwise, you might disappear like your grandfather.
The child probably wants to go home.
I don't want to go to those temples. they haven't been used in years.
They haven't what?
They haven't been used for years.
You mean there are no gods in this town?
There hasn't been a word from any gods since the Holy War.
Well, of course not. Nobody's praying. But this
Sir
is...
Cavell, you're interrogating a child. I believe
sorry.
you should be...
Well, have no fear, little one. We shall find your grandfather, Charlie Salborni.
Sure.
Okay.
What is this paper you are carrying around?
And she kind of hands you one. You see, it's just like a drawn image of like an old like elf type looking person. It's clearly drawn by an 8-year-old.
Nope.
And it just says,
Oh.
"Have you seen Charlie?" And like the H is the wrong way round, the R is the wrong way round, and the E's got like a little smiley like face in it, and yeah.
Tiny elf girl. Luck favors the bold. Your fate is your own to grasp.
My
Nope,
name
And
is.
so long as you grasp it, the Changebringer is with you.
I don't know what that means. But
Can you
I'm Tiffany.
Tiffany, we're going to find your grandfather, even if we have to burn down the whole town.
Ignore what he's saying. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Okay.
Means
Can I have both you and Sir Cavell doing a perception check, please?
perception. This one turned
As there's probably a guard just listening to him say, "Fuck, we have to burn the whole
Natural
town."
20!
Yay! So,
There's guards approaching Sir Cavell at this point.
there is. You look around, Fizzle, and as the crowds of people sort of pass through, you can see other buildings nearby, and there are other posters of other missing people on these walls.
Shit, son. Then we have an appointment with the captain of the guard, I believe. Sir Cavell, take a look at this. And it's not the only missing person in this town.
My God.
Something
So
is
many
wrong.
missing people.
Calm down now. Don't need to be so upset because, you know, the gods are not visiting this town.
This is the quest, Fizzle.
The other thing I
Sure.
will, as you had a nat 20, I was going to do another investigation, but with a nat 20, I think it's reasonable to say that you do see that the details on all these other wanted or missing posters are all elderly people.
Interesting. Does it, like, the posters, are they, like, stamped by someone, like mayor or like the
No,
the
you
captain
just
of
see
the guard?
you see different names, and some of them are really well drawn. Like some
Really
of
what?
them, some of them look really well drawn, and some are like obviously like an amateur's attempt to trying to
So
find.
people are trying to find their own missing, and the town guard is doing shit about it. Is that what I'm to understand?
You don't know if they're doing nothing about it. You just know that there are missing
What I
people.
assume. Anyway.
Well, let's find the captain of the guards.
Agreed. We should do that.
Don't worry, tiny elf lady. Tiffany, the Legion shall find everyone.
No need for that.
Who's the Legion?
It's just a nickname. Ignore him.
We
Cavell.
are the Legion.
Slap him on the back.
Do I follow
you
you, or
want to
do
be a
I go
member-
home now?
You
Yeah,
can do
you should probably go home. Don't worry, we're on the case.
Okay. And she kind of gives like a really awkward like grin, and then like walks away.
Cavell, you're gonna scare the child. You're gonna give it nightmares.
What?
But
Nightmares?
all someone needs for that is to look at his face.
Okay,
What?
while you guys are looking around to try and find a captain of the guard or a senior member of the guard, what's everyone else doing?
Well, Zartlam's working at a forge all day.
Indeed.
Pretty much.
I'm
should I
going to
go
the
ahead and-
alchemist shop.
Yeah, first of all, let's have Zartlam do his performance check on his Tinkerer's, not Tinkerer's,
Also, should you do one more for the one for last night or something?
Oh, I don't.
When you wanted him to do one, but he wasn't present.
It's okay, it's fine. So just a performance based on your...
Do I have advantage since I had the smith?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Not bad.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, you managed.
Mediocre.
You
And,
managed to
I am going to
do quite a bit of good work for the first sort of.
I am
few
going
hours.
to focus on the stuff that I actually need a forge to get done, since I will not always have access to one.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you
Like
you
the
managed
actual
to
damage to
do
the metalwork.
a good portion of what's needed in regards to that, and even though it leaves you with some sort of like still quite a bit to do, you feel confident that actually you've probably like cut out a whole sort of 2 or 3 days worth of work just in a few hours with this blacksmith at your side.
Good.
And you
Well,
still
I'm
have more
going to-
time on the forge.
Yeah, I'm going to keep working until either the smith kicks me out or somebody else from the party comes and finds me.
Yeah,
Because I don't imagine it'll be hard for them to find.
Sure.
Yeah, we know what direction you headed, so.
So, Roland and Ronin.
I'm heading to the alchemist shop.
Okay. So, yeah. Let me find it. So, the Brewski's bottles. As you enter
I
the
walk
shop,
in.
as you enter the shop, you hear a for God's sake!
It's one of my
I'm
own.
like, is this? I'm like, I wonder if a no owns the shop. I say it out loud.
And you see, like, you hear like these wooden sort of steps come from behind this counter, and the first thing you see is like this tall, like, bush of like green hair, just like wild. And as it comes, this sort of small individual comes above the counter. You can see he's like lifted his goggles above his head, and he has like clean like eyes, like circular eye bits, but the whole rest of his face is like black with soot.
Yep, he's a gnome.
Got a big like snoz on him. Yeah, he's definitely a gnome.
I'm like, I knew you were a gnome. That's awesome.
What else would you be thinking I was?
Well, when I heard the explosion, you know, gnomes.
Yeah. It's a
But you're
treat.
great anyways.
So what can I do for you?
Seeing if you had any basic healing potions in stock.
Sure, I got healing potions. I've got potions of dark vision if you need to see in the dark. I've got potions that glow. I've got potions that bless weapons. I've got all sorts of concoctions. What do you need? Healing potions. Well, have you got the gold for healing potions? They're not cheap, you know.
How much are you charging per heal?
Standard cost is 100 gold pieces.
No, it's not. It's 50.
Clearly, you've never been to Down Mary.
That's what the NPC says, so deal with it now.
You're just waiting for bartering. I know. I'm like 75 gold.
And kind of like digs his finger in his ear and kind of like tries to clear it.
What?
It's like, I'm sorry. What?
75 gold per base healing potion.
Why would I give you a discount? You come in here, you've assaulted me for starters, which, fair enough, is kind of funny, but I don't know who you are.
Well, considering your price is twice the standard, I figured offering 1.5 is a good start.
Where have you been that healing potions are cheaper here? Have you come from... where's that Julie bastard? You're from Camelot, right?
Sure.
No. Not formerly known as.
Sure, okay. I'll say you've got me. My prices aren't exactly cheap, but... You know, times are tough.
I know, that's why I offered 75.
I'll take your 75. I've only got 2
Perfect.
pitchers left, though.
That's fine, I'll take one of the 2 healing potions you had.
Okay. Now, is there anything else I can do you for?
Do you need anything, buddy? As I'm adding healing potion to my inventory.
I've got some wild acid, if you're interested.
We got a goblin that throws acid fire all over the place.
You've got a what?
A goblin in our group.
Why the hell would you hang around with a goblin?
Yeah, why the hell would I hang out with... I don't know. Because they're entertaining?
Yeah, there's some logic, I guess. If he doesn't try to eat your fingers when you're sleeping.
I keep a close eye on that.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything else I can do you for? I've got some oil of blessed weapon. I see you've got some weapons on you.
I've also got one in commission.
I've got some supplies for potion of healing. Is that anything that might interest you?
It might interest our goblin friend, because he likes brewing his own potions.
Yeah.
I'll bring him here shortly. I look at Ronan. Do you need anything, Ronan?
You might not have come.
No, I'm just wandering around town.
Yeah, so I didn't come.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I'll come back with some friends for some bit. I'm good on the healing potion.
Okay. And he kind of puts
And
his healing potion on the counter. And
yeah, I thank him for it.
he's holding
And I
up
put a
like a vial, the vial of something else in his hand. He's like, huh?
I
What?
hand him a silver piece and say thank you for your help. I give him a tip
Okay.
of a
Roland,
silver piece.
anything you're particularly looking for?
Can I go to the church?
Which one?
The Change Bringer.
So
Oh my god, yes,
the
I'm going there
forked
as
road.
well. It'd be great.
Okay, sure. As you head towards the forked road, you can see that there are 2 spires at each end of Dalmary. One you would assume is the opposite. You would assume is the Foul Followers, the Church of the Raven Queen, and the other, which you begin to head towards, being the forked road for the Changebringer. But as you approach, the building is in extreme disrepair, to the point that any of the stained glass windows are practically empty. Some of the pillars have collapsed. The doorway is just 2 large wooden doors that are now rotting from the weathering, and from within you see where all the church pews would be are either collapsed or covered in dust.
Is there an altar?
Right at the very back, it's collapsed.
Is there anything of value, notes? Is there like books? Is there other rooms?
It's obviously been pillaged.
Doesn't seem holy anymore.
Yeah, at first glance, there doesn't seem to be anything that's been here for quite some time.
Can I pray?
You can pray, absolutely.
Yeah, I go to the altar, kind of take a knee, and pray.
Yeah, as you lean down on like there's like a really weather-eaten rug that's still on the floor. As you sort of press your knee, you get like a soggy knee from where it's been wet and it's saturated in the wet from the weather. But yeah, you can most certainly to prayer. Anything in particular that you're praying for?
Just guidance.
Okay. Would you like to roll a religion check?
Okay. Is this still in the centre of town? Is there much foot traffic?
Not really from here. I mean, there's like a surrounding gated fence that would be like all sort of like the yard of this church, but yeah, there doesn't seem to be much traffic sort of out this way.
Okay. Can I, with my calligraphy set, write on a piece of wood, blessings, 5 silver, and put it outside and just sit there?
Yeah, sure, no worries. So you take a few moments to get it right and get the wording right, and you place it there, and you go back in, and I'm guessing you're waiting.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit there.
Cool. No worries.
And this is where I leave the party. This is where I live forever now.
So Cavell, you follow a different route, and you come up to this road that brings you to this gated fence, and just outside you see a sign that says blessings, 5 silver.
I chuck 5 silver in it, and I will go. I will say, I'll be back, and I'll rush back to find Fizzles because we're going to talk to the captain.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I've been trying to find out where the captain of the guard resides, where the guard.
And I'm currently trying to find Frizzle.
Well, first of all, let's do a perception check from you, Rolen, and I'll do a investigation check from you, Fizzle.
Oh, investigation. 1 second.
Because you're looking for someone in particular.
Oh yeah, I see nothing. Not with an 8. That'll take me a while to find him.
I'll try to find him.
Yeah.
No.
It's funny, Fizzle. You're looking through, and you see like the
Oh,
handful of.
not 20. I didn't realize it.
you see a series of guards here and there, and almost like an instant focus, your view just gets drawn to one piece of this road ahead of you, and you see this finely dressed in fine armor individual walking towards you.
Oh. Like specifically to me or just my direction?
He's walking in your direction.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna slowly intercept him.
Okay. You stand in front of him and he looks at you, looks down.
Good day. Good day.
Good day.
I apologize for intruding on your what's the word I'm looking for?
Patrol.
Let's say patrol. I would like to speak to the guard captain in order to offer her services for a particular task, if possible.
There are several of us. If you're referring to a female, there's only one. Why would we or herself want to talk to a goblin?
I throw an exploding potion somewhere to the side.
They draw out their swords.
No need for that. I have done nothing to offend you.
You just threw out an exploding vial and pass it by.
Excuse me. I did nothing of the sort.
Guards, chain him up. And they begin to get their shackles out.
I so saw this coming.
How exactly did you foresee that going?
Hey, I don't know anything. No,
So
the DM knows what's happening right now.
they begin to surround you, and they get out their manacles.
Excuse me, I have done nothing wrong. I was just trying to help.
You tried to kill passerby with your vial of exploding gases.
I have done nothing of the sort. I believe you're confusing me with something.
Lock this goblin up!
I attempt to throw another potion again.
Okay, then they chain you up.
Oh, this didn't end up as I wanted it to. And I didn't let us somewhere.
You see this happening?
And
The GM knows what's happening.
They kind of drag you off, and they take you to the building that you saw that said currently out of business. And the finely armored captain begins to rummage through some keys, moves across the sign, and unlocks it. And as you enter this building, you can see that there's like a caged cell in there, and then you also see that there's like a smaller like animal like cage, and you go in the animal cage.
Blast! Do I look like an animal to you? Why am I being put in here?
And they kind of now as you go in, like your back is like facing them, they start to like unclip like your belts and your pouches and your bags, anything that could be used, and they start to put it in like a little cubby hole on like a shelving unit above from where
Be careful, those are explosives.
So after they kind of
also they cause
you,
blindness, careful where you touch. Also acid damage, also you might want to just not touch them, just let me handle them.
So once you're fully relinquished of your assets,
you may as well just be in an airport yelling bomb right now.
You are the cage comes down behind you, and you're currently now in this animal cage. There's a little bit of like sawdust and hay in this sort of environment, and they one of the guards stays and sits by like a cornered table facing your direction, puts his feet up on the table, and the other two leave, and you can hear the door locking behind
Did I
them.
hear these explosions when he threw his
Go ahead and roll a
potions?
perception check with advantage because you're in the same town.
Not to mention, I know that sound really well.
I would very much like to know, how did you guys decide to throw me in here, Natural 20?
Okay. Natural 20,
You
I
hear
totally
them,
heard it.
You hear them, and you know what direction they came from. By the time you get there, there's nothing. You see two smashed vials and like black soot up against buildings where they've obviously exploded.
I start shaking my head. Do I see Sir Cavell?
You
With that
would,
nat 20?
yeah, I would say you would do at this point because he's also looking for Fizzle. So yeah,
I look
you
at
see
Sir Cavell.
him kind of he kind of is at the top of the road, and he's kind of almost like zigzagging.
I wave
crowd.
at Sir Cavell and I'm like, hey Cavell, I think the goblin friend got arrested. He threw explosive potions in the middle of the road.
If you only know why.
That's not a good idea to get arrested right now.
Well, I have 2 days to get in for my new bow, so I figured we'd spend a couple of days, get as much information as we can in town. Well, we're one person down because, idiotic behavior.
I'm sure there's going to be a fee or a fine. I'm not sure what else they would do for... Look, we might post bail for a friend. I'll try and see what I can do.
I spent most of my money on, like, a healing potion and my new weaponry.
Yes, I know. I'll do it myself.
Can I make a suggestion when they find me?
Yeah, when they find you, perhaps.
Okay.
Let's find it
Zatlam,
first.
while we're waiting on that, can we have another performance check from you, Zatlam?
Smith tool check?
Yep, Smith tool.
I mean, I can do a performance check if you want me to do it fancy, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that guy with the salt? It's like, ding, with the hammer.
Yeah,
Oh, damn good.
it's becoming a little bit late in the shift for this smith. The smiths usually start a lot earlier in the day, and they usually only work until like late afternoon. They don't always work all the way through because the noise is distracting. And it comes to like the end of the shift, and the smithy says, "Well, looks like you've done some good work here. How about we call it a day?"
Zartlam will look over the work. If he continues to have access to the forge, is there some way I can estimate how many more days it would take to finish?
Looking at it, you're probably still about 4 days out. But from what you can see, you've managed to get rid of all the rust, so it's now completely rust free. You've managed to replace the leather interior padding, which has been completely replaced. The holes that were currently there have now been patched and soldered over. Most of what needs to be done now is more of the refining side to it. So really beating out the lumps and bumps, like sanding down the edges of the patchwork to make sure it looks smooth rather than soldered patches of metal plate. And to really strengthen them out, and a few more sort of studding work just to reinforce to make sure the parts stay where they need to be.
So probably another 2-3 days.
As long as I'm not like in a swamp or a desert sandstorm or something, that's probably stuff I can do on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, then Zartlam will nod, pack it up, and say, "It was a pleasure working with proper facilities for once. If you end up finding some time between making horseshoes to work on something impressive again, perhaps you'll put this to good use, and I will leave him the chunk of non-magical silver I found a while back."
Okay. Yeah, nice. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I will take that on board. I appreciate the time. You've been quite a pleasure to work with. I didn't catch your name, however.
You can call me Zartlam.
Well, Zartlam, hopefully our paths will cross once again, and do be sure to come by once you've finished. I would like to see the completed article. I'm sure with time this can be quite fine armor.
Will do.
I will also say at this point, Zartlam, that even though you won't get the full benefit of what full plate armor gives you, it is now currently wearable, but it will give you the same stats as your current armor.
I'll take it.
Good.
Which is AC 16 instead of AC 18.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about, panache.
As you work through do the improvements and, whatever else you wish to do to it, it will, of course, increase. But it is now currently a functional armor. Okay, so Ronin.
Yep.
Takes a little while. You hear like some distant echoes of explosions through the town. Don't quite understand why or what's going on. And you see an individual hooded in like a black robe walking in your direction.
Yeah. What did you say?
The temple.
Did you say hooded in a black robe?
Hooded in a black robe.
Hooded. Okay.
And he says, "I've come for some blessing."
Sit with me, my child.
And he sits on the broken, more stable pew that's available.
And how may I help you? What is it that you seek?
I seek many things. I seek answers. I seek retribution. I'm sorry to say that in ways I seek revenge.
I mean, deep inside, I'm not liking where this is going, but I don't say that. Firstly, I put my hand out for payment.
He reaches in and he says, I don't require change, and he places a single gold piece.
So whether you broke up, what did he?
A single gold piece.
Okay.
Opposed to the 5 silver as advertised. And as he does so, he kind of grabs both of his like the corners of his hood and peels back, and you see a face is like a green yellowy tinge. He's got pointed ears, and his nose is upturned, and he looks very familiar. And as the longer he sort of sits there, he reminds you of Zartlam.
He reminds. Okay, I was hoping for a second. I thought you were going to say it was Gilthunder.
How did that description fucking...
Well, no, but like when he walked in, he said, "I seek retribution." I was like, "Oh shit, it's Gilthunder," and I'm by myself in a fucking place away from town. Okay, and it looks. You remind me of someone I met on my travels.
I'm sure there are not many of us.
And what are you exactly?
Apologies. I am a Githyanki.
Yes, you're not very common around these parts, so I feel fortunate for having seen 2 of you. I feel like the gods are looking favourably upon me.
I have travelled a very long, tiresome road. But my thirst has caused me to rest a while.
Have I noticed the signs? Did I notice the signs of the missing people?
I wouldn't say you have at this stage, no.
No. Okay. Your
Does
thirst.
he have a silver sword on his back?
Did you say thirst?
It's more of a compulsion.
And what is this compulsion? Would you like to talk about it? Maybe some therapy. We could schedule in weekly meetings.
Are you making fun of the Githyanki now?
No, not. I'm trying to help him because I'm here to bless people.
Maybe let him talk.
I would like to say it is more a compulsion to find someone.
And who is it you're searching for?
I am yet to learn their name or their whereabouts. Just that it is my mission, my ambition, my quest to do so. It will bring me much honor to my people. And perhaps, although I'm not a believer in your God, perhaps trying something new will bring me the luck that I need to pursue the one I'm after.
Can I roll insight?
Go ahead.
He's totally after his art one.
Natural 1.
He seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah. We should be friends. Should we go get dinner?
You should totally introduce him to the other one.
Yeah.
So, bro.
Well, like, I've rolled a natural 1, so I genuinely feel like I would say, you should join our party. Like, we're travelling around. You should join us, and maybe along your travels you'll find the person you're looking for.
And the person that I know that's like you, look at
Yeah.
the
I
silver
am
sword.
not particularly fond of others in terms of travelling with them.
Who is it that we're travelling with that's the,
Zartlam.
Zartlam? Do you know Zartlam?
This is not a name that I recognise, although
Ah.
it is a very familiar sounding term. Is
That's
he
the
a
name of-
Githyanki?
Yes, he is. That's the one I mentioned before that I'd met.
And he stands up really brashly and says, "Where is he?"
He's in town.
He's in
Can
town.
you totally trust him?
He's around in town somewhere. We were.
He
we
leaves.
walked.
He leaves. You're still talking. He leaves. His hood goes up and he...
Bye. Thanks for the gold piece.
His blessing was your nat 1.
Yep, it was.
Remember that, like, never split the party?
And
Oh wait, you
And
know
as
where
it-
he was going. You know he's going to the blacksmith.
He's out of earshot by this point.
I just kind of sit back, fold my arms, and just think,
I did good.
nice. He seemed really nice.
Hey, I brought two best friends back together.
You know what? And I just think, you know what? They're probably brothers.
That's racist.
I've only met 2, so probably.
So, Fizzle, you're in a cell.
No, he's not.
Anything you're
I'm
doing.
an animal cage.
Yep, animal cage.
Where he belongs.
So, can I get an explanation why I'm freaking put in here, over there?
Quiet.
Like,
Quiet.
I
You.
did come, but I did come offering help, and I ended up being restrained and thrown in a cage like an animal. What did I do to deserve this? Is this how you treat guests?
Attacked civilians.
Are you serious? You are not
I am
aware that
absolutely serious.
you threw 2 exploding potions at a crowd of civilians.
I would
You
never
expect
do
us
that.
to leave you just be? You're clearly
I-
dangerous and out of your mind.
I have done no such thing. You are lying to me. You are accusing me and you are throwing accusations at me. I've done no such thing.
There was 3 of us bear witness to this.
And I have done nothing what you're saying. You're lying to my face.
The only one lying here is you, Goblin.
I get a fit. Like I start like getting a seizure on the floor.
Go ahead. Well, you can go ahead and roll a performance, I guess, if you're faking.
No, this is real. Like, do you not remember what I told you?
Sure. Okay. Well, do still do do performance.
This is just happening. Like I'm doing it. Like it's what Fizzle would do.
Yeah.
In the situation.
Constitution save?
Yeah, I guess that's probably the closest thing.
Okay. So I don't faint or something.
Nat 1.
Constitution save. Let's go. That's
Anybody
it.
read that?
Almost. It was almost a 1.
Ah!
Kind of like start foaming in the mouth, and he kind of sort of almost steps out of his chair, and then is like, "Nah."
He's got rabies.
Then in a few more moments, I get up again and I continue talking. Well, you still haven't answered my question. Why are you lying to me? I do an inside check to see if,
I'm
like,
gonna try and do something.
because it would make sense in this situation.
I don't even know what I would do.
I asked her, Cavell, where they would lock someone up in this town.
Probably the
Nearest guard station, probably.
guards thing.
You mean where the bounty is?
It's
Yeah.
not like
He
it's not really.
looks at you. I mean, he kind of he's clearly quite well educated, even for a guard. And he kind of like looks at you, like looks
Hey,
closer,
Greenskin, shut your mouth!
and then he's like, "What are you?"
Well, I don't actually know. I never managed to see myself in a reflective surface ever. I don't know why. I don't have any recollection of who I am. I actually have no idea who I am except for my name. By the way, hi, I'm Fizzle.
You have no idea what you look like or what you are. It's never been compelled to look in a mirror.
I have tried, but for some reason I never actually managed to see.
Vampire!
Don't get it. I just don't remember.
So you've seen in a mirror, but you don't recognize anything.
That is the closest thing I can explain, yes.
So if I was to get a reflective surface, i.e. mirror, and show it to you...
We can certainly try. I don't know what happens.
He kind of like backs out, knocks on like the inside of the door, and like the outside kind of peeks open, and you can hear a... And he's
What's
like,
happening?
okay. And the door shuts again, and you can hear it being locked from the outside. We will test this theory.
It was amusing in the last campaign when this came up.
Roland and Sir Cavell.
We're heading to the bounty place, because that's where I think they would lock someone up.
Roland, I know where we should go. We should go to the tavern.
I know, we should go to the church!
And we just, like, go towards the bounty office and check.
You know, I was gonna say, it's not really hard to ask for a description. If you ask has anyone seen a goblin, pretty much everyone's gonna say, yes, we did.
You got arrested.
No, if we're gonna ask a description, we'd ask where the crazy, insane...
So, as you walk around and you are trying to retrace your steps to where you remember the bounty office being, you do pass a very long queue of middle-aged to older people, and they seem to be stood by this like cafeteria kind of restaurant-y looking place. And,
this place looks good.
As outside the sign is a painted red crab, and it says Red Crab Company.
Oh, don't you remember this place?
No.
I keep walking.
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing?
I'm queuing for the clams. Don't push in.
Oh no, I would never seek to get in this queue. I'm just curious why you are queuing for clams.
Well, it only opened a few months ago, and it's damn tasty, if I say so. Not that I've had any yet. This is my first time.
What does this old person, what does he look like?
He looks old. Human.
Do you happen to know some elf man? Charlie Saboni.
Yes, I haven't seen him in a while, though.
Did he eat clams at this place, this establishment?
How do I know?
Well, I'm assuming word of mouth from these clams will get around, right?
I just hear people saying that it's great and we should try it.
Who tells you?
Just word in the street, I guess. Now get out of my way, I've got a queue. I don't want to lose my space.
All right. These people are insane.
I just kept walking towards the bond office and left Circo out behind.
I'm gonna have to investigate this later.
Yeah, it is kind of what we were going to do anyway.
So
Sit around and put it-
as you approach the bounty office, you see at this point the sign and everything is still outside, leaning up against this door. And a few moments as you kind of walk like to it, a guard passes you carrying a large holding mirror, and he kind of like shuffles in, and he kind of makes good pace on you, and he kind of gets keys out and he unlocks the door and he passes through this mirrored thing through this gap
I'm
in the
like,
door.
wait,
The door shuts
it's
and
open?
he locks the door again, and then he just stands guard.
I started approaching it and going, wait, are you guys open or closed?
No, sheriff's not in town. We're closed.
We're looking
Oh.
for.
All right, then I'll come back later then. And I walk away.
I'm looking for a merchant, employer of mine.
All right.
And meanwhile, I'm walking to the
He's
tavern.
a renowned alchemist of some skill.
Have you tried the alchemists?
You might have seen him. He's tiny, green, and doesn't appreciate being called a goblin.
You mean the goblin?
You could have led with that.
Well, yes. I wouldn't say it to his face, though. Things tend to explode.
Yes. Well, he almost hit some civilians with 2 exploding vials, so
Oh, my.
he's now currently under arrest and will be waiting service for a trial.
What
Possibly
are the charges?
hanging. What
What
do
are
you
the
mean, what
charges?
are the charges? He's clearly a danger to society.
No, as you say, he didn't kill anyone yet.
Yet.
Wrong choice of words there, Cavell.
Okay.
Good choice, words.
Like, Paladin is supposed to be outspoken. God damn it.
Please, I beseech you, at least let me post bail for him, so that he might enjoy his moments of peace before such a trial would take place.
Beats the point to bail, doesn't it?
What kind of place do you think this is? Post bail, he'll go missing.
By my honor as a knight, I would not besmirch the law like that.
Wrong choice of words.
You're a knight.
Shit.
I squint at his face, and I fold my arms, and I say, well, not a reputable one, but
Well,
a
knight
knight's
at
honor is still a knight's honor. So,
Where's your military papers?
oh, gosh.
It hurt.
I don't have them anymore. Here. I
You
have
don't
these.
have your military papers. So not only do you expect me to let your
You're
goblin
impersonating
friend
a knight.
on bail, you are trying to pass yourself as
Yep.
a military officer, as
Yep.
a knight, without proof of papers.
Well, there was a lady in a lake somewhere in that, but
And he
That
kind of
story,
looks
but it's all
around down
true.
the streets and he's like, Guards! Guards! Guards!
seriously,
He's like,
And this is
don't
exactly
you
why I
move!
walked away.
Don't you move!
Bad
Guards!
choice of words.
Guards!
I try to walk into the building. I'll arrest
It's
myself.
locked. He's like, wait, you're coming quietly? And you can see
Well,
that there are like
if-
2 guards, one at each
If
side
you
of the
seek
street
to-
walking
If you
towards.
seek to impound me for some crime, I am going to follow your.
Your crime is trying to identify yourself as a
You're clearly delusional here, so
And you see,
Now you're calling him delusional.
you see these
Doesn't work.
other guards sort of like rush into this environment, and he's like reaches
sure you
behind
didn't
him, and
touch
he's
any
got
of the
manacles.
potions?
So he kind
sure
of
you
like
didn't-
he kind of
Uh,
reaches and like, if you're coming quietly, give me your arms.
Oh shit.
Are you okay? Yeah. Are you sure you didn't touch any of those potions? I look at him with concern, and I'm just like, you could be affected by something, you know.
Go ahead and roll a
Deception.
persuasion.
Because it could be true. Oh shit!
You see the worry in his eyes because he was one of the people that had removed the items from Fizzle, but he kind of locks you in the manacles and then reaches into his pocket and unlocks the door, moves the sign across, and then walks in. You can see this guy, the other guard inside, kind of looking at this mirror while he's sat at the table and then looking at Fizzle, and you look to the cell where you would expect a humanoid to be and not see Fizzle there, but you can see in a darkened corner this very small animal crated thing.
I use like a stick to jingle the bars or something.
And they open the gate to the main cell and they push you in and push you into the corner and try and they take up unclip your sword from your back and try and take off your bag and any items that you got.
Don't worry about it.
Don't move. And he carries on.
How did you get in here?
Fizzle,
Hello.
did they torture you?
No,
Oh,
but
thank
they did
God.
lock me in a kiddie beast cage for some reason.
I have no idea what's happening. This is insane. These people
They're
must have slipped something from your bag.
They lock the cell behind you, Sir Caval. Place your items in the same sort of cubby hole, and they say, "You," and point at you, Caval, and say, "What kind of beast do you think this is?"
Why, it's Fizzle.
Hello.
And what exactly is Fizzle?
He's a master alchemist of some repute.
And
That is true.
what is his ancestry? Where is his bloodline from?
To be fair,
My good sir, I have seen all kinds of people of various creeds in the guards. Are you implying something?
Let me word this something else.
to be honest,
Is
Ivan,
he
I don't know
human?
the answer.
Well, yes.
What?
He is as human as everyone.
You believe him to be human?
Well, I believe him to be as human as he can be.
He's a humanoid.
I'm getting
I
confused.
shan't have such accusations of
What is his skin
indecency and
color?
impropriety. He's green.
And what creatures generally are known throughout the land for being green and humanoid?
Orcs and goblins.
And which one of those would this young gentleman fall under?
A nymph.
That wasn't Cavell. That was.
Sorry.
Yeah, a nymph.
You believe him to
Nymphs
be
are
a
green, right? Nymphs and dryads.
Like, there are
Clearly, there is something wrong with both of you. One of you trying to be an imposter of the knights, and one of you believes that you're something you're not.
Look, I've been bodyguarding this
So Cavell,
alchemist for some
my
some
thing,
time.
Patrick.
I might have been affected by his potions.
Let me explain. Sir Cavell here is not really a knight. He likes to project himself as one, but he is a knight at heart. He's a noble spirit, that one. But he just likes to do good deeds. Hence why we were actually coming here. We
A
were
lie
simply trying
is still a lie.
I am not lying. I was trying to speak with one of your superiors regarding lending help with the missing persons. I assume that much you are aware of. There is all people missing.
We have
around
been
town.
trying to look for missing peoples for days. There is only so many guards and only so many days that we can look. When we
And
have
we
unable to locate any of them, what else are we but to advertise of these missing people until someone comes forth with more information to aid us in our investigations?
Hence, that's what we are going to help you with. That is the reason why I approached one of your superiors.
And then
And then I
you
got locked up in
continued
here.
by throwing 2 vials of exploding gases against the civilian
I
homes.
I believe I made myself clear that I have not done such a thing.
And the other one sort of
Yes.
like huffs and leaves and begins locking the process of the door again and standing guard. The other one goes, and additionally, we was talking about the reflection that you have an issue with, and I thought it would be prominent to bring a mirror. And does this help? And he flashes it at you, Fizzle.
I swipe at the mirror and then I get another seizure.
And he
Oh
turns
my
to you
gosh.
as he holds onto the mirror and says,
The
"Is this the
infrared
behavior
mirror.
of someone that is regular?
Who's he talking to?
This is the
You're-
second
you're
time we
torturing-
have
You're
talked to
torturing
him."
my employer. That's Fizzle is having. You're hurting him. This is absolutely insane.
Why are
Mistreating
you
a prisoner.
torturing him?
You're not
So,
dead. You ran away.
Zartlam, you do come across and find the guard standing outside the same boarded up bounty office,
And you probably see me not far away.
and you hear a muffling of discussions from within.
The guard at the gate told me to report something once I was within the city. Who should I report to? I will ask the guard.
You can report it to me. I can provide it to the next relay team to move it on to the captain of the guard, or you can speak to the captain of the guard directly. There are 3 currently positioned here.
Yes, I was attacked by some ragtag group leaving the forest of white dreams. Is that what it's called?
Sorry, say again.
The forest of white dreams. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A group seemed to have been leaving the forest of white dreams. Heavily damaged my equipment, but I managed to make it out myself intact, though lost several possessions, including my travel papers.
By any chance would one of them have been and he leans forward and whispers and says, "A goblin"?
I didn't get a good look at them. As far as I could tell, they were all about human size, but I can't be certain. There were at least half a dozen.
Fair enough. Well, I can make note and at least notify the captain that this is an issue, and perhaps we can run a patrol on the surrounding areas of the White Forest. Of course, no one will enter.
Well, obviously, that would be suicide.
Indeed.
Well, I have done my part. Once my equipment's repaired and I'm restocked, I'll be moving on to Leona's to get some new paper.
Well, be sure that I'm sure if you're here for a few days and you'd like some entertainment, the likelihood is there may be some trials in the square, whether that to be some corporal punishment or whether it be a hanging, and we're yet to assess the situation, but I'm sure the captains of the guard will make a formal decision shortly, and that will take place in a few days, no doubt.
Truly, from the rumors I'd heard, there was a prison somewhere in or nearby. Didn't really pay too much attention, but somewhere close by. Is the crime so severe that they're not being sent?
Well, there's certain scenarios that would require us to send a prisoner to there if they are deemed that they are suitable to partake additional information that we could probably prize them out over a few years of torture and investigations. Perhaps we would need that to happen. In this case, however, we have managed to restrain a clearly someone that is having an identification issue and has attempted to cause damage to civilians and property around using exploding gases, and we have one that is has attempted to commit some sort of fraudery in terms of pretending to be a knight of sorts.
And someone attempting to be a knight, that's not something worth investigating further.
Not in this case, or at least we're led to believe.
You know, you mentioned extracting information over years. I can't imagine that has a small crew guarding such individuals. Don't suppose you'd know if they happen to be hiring. It seems the life on the road doesn't agree with me as much as I...
No one tells me anything about hiring new recruits. Again, there's probably something to talk up to with the captain of the guard, but I don't know.
I see. Well, I will certainly have to discuss that with him when I get a chance. Otherwise, I'll keep an eye out for that entertainment.
Yeah, be sure to join in. I'm sure some of the grocers might even supply some free bags of tomatoes to throw at the fools.
Now that would be interesting.
Okay, Ronin, what are you currently doing? Still in your church?
Yeah. Has anyone else come?
Yeah, you've had you've made 15 silver pieces from passerbys that.
Sorry, you cut out.
Sorry, you've managed to see regular passerbys that were hopeful that it seems that something's occurring within the church walls, and they've come by, and you've managed to make 15 silver pieces since the events unfolded. So you've seen 3 additional people since then.
Perfect. Any information or anything?
Not just off the bat, no.
And I've got no idea about what's going on with everybody else. Everyone's getting arrested.
I'm not.
I mean, it's a little slow.
Not yet.
The where
Oh,
you
hell
currently
no!
are
They
is
can
a little
rot in
slow.
hell. They can rot in jail.
Hey, everybody else gets in trouble with the law. Zartlim actually talks to the guards in a friendly manner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How long have I been there?
So did Fizzle, but
I would say you've been there a couple of
reasons.
hours now. You've only seen like the 4 individuals. It's
Okay.
pretty slow. It would seem that either this day is a shopping day in terms of like people like trading things with each other rather than going on the surrounding outer edges of the city.
Can I put up a second sign in town by the well?
You can most certainly. There's definitely enough scraps of wood that you can manage to do that. It'll take you a few moments to design it, and it'll take you a little while to walk down to where the well is. But yeah, you can manage to do that. If you are walking back through the town there, Ronin, I will need a perception check for me.
I'm in plain sight.
Whoa.
That would be a natural 20.
That's enough. So as you go through the towns and the streets, I mean, you kind of are being even more vigilant than you're familiar with being.
Holding a sign that says blessings, 5 silver.
Yeah, holding a sign that says that. And you see there are a series of like palm-sized symbols, like paintings, markings on the side and corners of buildings, and it looks like a fist, like a black painted fist with a snake in its grasp, and the tongue seems to have almost like an arrow. Instead of it being like a split tongue, it's almost like an arrow pointing in.
So the resistance.
Possibly.
What were they called?
You don't
something
know?
The hand.
The hand. They were called something fist or something hand.
Yeah, as if you recall what Diane was like calling them. She wasn't quite sure what they were called. It was something like grasping fist or something along their lines. She wasn't too sure.
Okay. Do I notice some sort of? Is there a code behind it? Do I notice them pointing in a certain direction?
Yeah,
or
you noticed the first one you come across is it does seem to have a pointing in a certain direction.
Okay.
I would also say by this point you have come across Zartlam as well, as he was just leaving the same sort of area that you've had to walk through.
Okay. So I mean, hey Zartlam, I think I met your brother.
I find that highly unlikely.
Well, he looked just like you, and he was wearing a hood and seemed on some path of vengeance or something. He was really nice, really lovely guy. I had such good fun talking to him.
What did you say to him?
I just that that I was hanging out with you, that you were in town, that maybe you'd want to get coffee or something.
Do I even need to make an insight check here, or
It's up to you.
is it incredibly obvious what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I told him your name, and he seemed really eager to meet you. It was lovely.
It's up to you. If you want to do an insight check, you can do an insight.
I just facepalm at this point and go, I'm traveling with idiots.
I'm gonna do it with advantage if that's all right, just because of racial knowledge.
Of course.
Yeah, I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that he was a lovely man. He seemed really friendly.
He's a hunter.
He's what? A hunter?
Yes.
What's he hunting?
Me.
Oh.
It seems the Lich Queen has realized that I'm not dead.
I probably shouldn't have told him all that stuff then.
No, you shouldn't have.
I'm really sorry. Like, he seemed genuinely nice. Like, we hit it off. Like, we just seemed to get on really well. I'm so sorry.
I look at him and go, well, our other two friends have been arrested. I whisper to Ronan.
I don't have time for them. You two can deal with that. I need the rest of my sword. And Zartlam's gonna storm off.
Okay.
The only thing he considers a real threat is other Githyanki.
Yeah.
I'm going to point out the sign I've just seen as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we should totally investigate that.
We'll need the help of the resistance to
Roland,
free us.
Zartlam, and yourself, Ronin, are now aware of these markings on the side of buildings.
Oh no, Zartlam's already stormed off in a huff.
Okay.
Me and Ronan are gonna follow.
Yeah.
If you could do me a further investigation check for me, Ronin. If Rolen is helping, you can have advantage.
I have +8 to that, but sure. I'll help him.
Dirty 20.
Sure. It almost, to begin with, it almost seems like you go in circles following these symbols. And when you pass like an intersection of the same street that you've passed twice, following these symbols, the arrows take you in a different direction as they previously had. And a few hours pass, and by this point it is now becoming a little bit more dusker. It's a bit more darker, and
I can see fine.
Sure. But then you come to a building, and the snake that you see here doesn't have a pointed tongue. It has the typical fork-like tongue, but additionally, under this symbol is a number 8. The building itself is boarded up at the windows. The door is boarded and seems to be locked.
I'm like, hey, Ronan, why don't you knock on the door?
I do not knock on the door. Can I have a look around and sort of have a peek in a window, see if I see anything?
As you go up to one of the windows, it's clear that like they've been obscured, so there's like some sort of soot or dirt from the inside, and you can make out like shapes, but you can't make out what's in there.
Can I do an investigation check on like the door or something to see if I can see like footsteps or like as if it's been used?
Sure.
Uh, 19.
There is a single print of a single shoe, like a back end of like a heel. But other than that, it doesn't look like anything's been here for a while.
Okay. And how big is this building?
It would appear that it's single floor. It almost doesn't resemble like a residence. It's almost like it's like a storage unit or but a building, if that makes sense.
Or a shop.
Yeah, like a small shop or like a storage.
It looks like a garage.
Yeah, like a side house sort of thing.
Can I test the door?
Yeah, go ahead. As you.
Can I But before, can I check for traps?
Of course you can.
So investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you do all this, and me as the.
Sorry, you were cutting out.
Yeah, that's fine. The investigation's fine.
You could ask for help from the investigator behind your ass.
Are you an Well, you. I kind of.
Rogue.
Do you want to check for traps?
Sure.
Okay. I'll help you as well. Just you check this side, I'll check that side.
All right. So you're giving me advantage.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Any traps?
No traps.
Is the door locked?
The door is locked.
I'm like, do you want me to pick the lock?
I don't know, because we don't want to. We don't want to be enemies with them, so I don't want to intrude, if that makes sense. Should we hang back and see if any kind of have a little kind of hiding and see if there's any comings and goings and over the next kind of time?
All right, you can do that. We'll probably want to get a room at the local tavern too.
No, I meant just keep is there anywhere that we could stay that has eye line with the doorway?
Yeah, you can see down
straight
down an alley, as from the door straight down an alley. You can see the tavern. Which one is it? It is. I think it's the store.
The poo.
It's the Soggy Stool.
The Soggy Stool. Does it have a nice kind of beer garden where we could sit outside and keep an eye on the alleyway?
There is like a water trough and like a singular stool.
A water trough and a singular stool.
Yeah.
Well, should we sit there and keep an eye out and see if anyone comes or goes?
Well, one of us we can take turns sitting up there, and one of us can be in the bar.
Okay. So
we're gonna be on the stool first, or
I'll sit on the soggy stool. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll go in and
Circabel and Fizzle. You have been a few hours have now passed. Not much has been said by the guards. Occasionally, they swap out the person in the room with you.
I keep nagging occasionally because I am willing to,
Where did it take our stuff?
They're across the room.
It's it's across the room. There's like a shelving unit that's like loads of squares. That is like a shelving unit that each individual kind of person's belongings is sectioned out.
And this jail has seen better days, I am assuming?
Sorry?
this jail cell has seen better days.
Yeah, it's not the best in the world. It's functional.
Well, I'm going to sleep on it.
Okay. It's a
And-
hard, cold floor.
Yeah, I think I'll ask for a blanket.
Kind of just looks at you.
Probably not gonna
Doesn't
get one.
really respond.
Look, you don't need to get a blanket. It's in my pack. Just get me a blanket.
Just carries on looking at you. Doesn't respond.
Good sir, have you no mercy in your heart?
Nope.
At least take care of my friend here. Fizzle is looking quite emaciated and
I'm
He-
fine.
It's got hay. It's bedding. Yeah, give me
What about
one
food?
moment. Hold on.
We need our 3 square meals a day.
Not even lunch yet.
What are you talking about this evening already?
No, we set out in the morning. Only a few hours have passed. Wait, never mind. Because like
It's at least the afternoon because I finished up
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the smithy.
I remember that just now.
And then a couple more hours have passed, so it's getting close to evening.
Blasted old hell.
He mentioned
Remember,
it's
there
getting
would
dark.
have been time finding the different shops and stuff you guys stopped at.
True.
yeah. But
We're getting arrested.
That's why.
Only way out
And
is to speak to a superior. Unless someone like that comes up with not much we can do.
The reason I walked away from Sir Cavell was because I knew he was going to do stupid.
For a paladin, he doesn't really pick his words very carefully.
Okay.
No, he does not.
No, I don't.
A few hours pass. It becomes darker outside, and you hear the keys at the door going again. This time you see the female half-orc, fine armor, and
Yes.
she stands looking at you, Sir Cavell,
The stupid goblin and the human that she met at the Hogs.
and kind of looks at you. So, looks like you've got yourself into trouble yet again.
Oh,
Well, you know how it is.
And what is
Oh,
your excuse this time?
Excuses? I make no excuses.
No,
we just
but you like to make things up by the sounds of it. Apparently, my guards tell me you're a knight.
Well, yes.
at heart.
They
Yeah.
They would tell you that.
A knight at
Are
heart.
you calling
I am.
them liars?
I am. They accuse me of destroying public property and
They've accused
causing
him of destroying
harm.
public property. My
I've done no
employer,
such
my
thing.
friend, has done no such thing.
I hear that this one has attempted to cause damage to public property and civilians
I-
passing by.
Again, have done no such thing. They keep telling me that, but I've done nothing of the sort. I believe that fellow that was guarding earlier did understand me a bit.
They also say that you refuse to accept that you're a goblin.
I get a fit. I start foaming at the mouth a bit, rolling around the cage.
Is this normal
no.
behavior?
Yes, it is. He reacts poorly to the words. I
But
feel
he is what he is.
I don't
as
understand what you're
I
talking
am what
about.
I am.
I feel that at the very least there should be a what should I say? There should be some leniency for a man who has suffered so much as my friend Fizzle here. I try my very best to keep him from harm's way.
Here's the thing. I'm still confused what's happening here and why am I locked up in a animal cage. But I cannot one of your underlings, I suppose. I don't know a person. I give a rough description to the person in front of me, and I was offering our help in resolving the missing persons issue, and they accused me of causing harm and threw me in here, and I still don't know why.
If not for us, do it for tiny elf girl Tiffany. We shall find her grandfather, if it's the last thing we do.
So I guess can't really do much in here.
Well,
Hence my plea to get out. I have nothing to do here.
Do you even remember throwing the potion?
You don't know. Like I said, you don't know.
I am tempted to show leniency, but
Well,
you will be kept a very close eye on.
well, like I said, we are offering help. We're not like that's pretty much it. We were trying to help out and ended up in here. I still him.
Fizzle.
But
Your mind and your mouth. I think we have the same problem. It's just the opposite problem.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're too clever for your mouth. I'm
Thank you.
too stupid for what I'm saying. We should work together on this.
Very well. Very well. Does that mean I can get out now? Please?
There are certain conditions if I were releasing you.
Very well.
Would you mind explaining these conditions?
If you're caught throwing randomly explosive vials against civilians or their property, you will be immediately executed without trial.
Very well, even though I would never do that.
You will find out within the set perimeters what is occurring. One moment.
But that was a doorbell, no.
I think it was. That's why I said 1 moment.
Yeah, I know. I think we're going on a bit longer than expected. Sorry.
You will finish the investigation within set parameters, or you will leave Dalmary and never return.
Oh, I guess that's reasonable.
If you are found committing any crime, you will be trialed and you may be sent to Bastion Dungeon.
I see.
To live out your days without pity or without a retrial. You will be left to rot.
That does not sound fun. We will do our best to avoid that.
Stay out of trouble.
Well, that's what we've been trying to do.
Which kind of unlocks the gate
kisses her.
and then unlocks the crate.
Thank you.
And for now, guys, that is where we'll leave it out.
I patiently wait in front of my belongings. Because I can't reach them. They're too far, too high up.
That was hilarious. You guys did.